my moonlight, my night dread, remembering the long dead. My worst day put away with key locks placed inside a locked box. I need the pain, I need the strain, I need the fire of pure desire. 'Cause I'm never free from this addiction, affliction, addicted to my misery. I cannot detox from this condition, conviction, addicted to my misery box. I'm never free from this addiction, affliction, addicted to my misery. Cannot detox from this condition, conviction, addicted to my misery box. My reasons, my demons, he took from me. A stolen piece of memory. Took my pain, my disdain, it's not fair. Give me back my nightmare. It calls my name with burning flame. Every night it's all the same, reliving my darkest shame. 'Cause I'm never free from this addiction, affliction, addicted to my misery. I cannot detox from this condition, conviction, addicted to my misery box. I'm never free from this addiction, affliction, addicted to my misery. Cannot detox from this condition, conviction, addicted to my misery box. Now your fate is where I bled. You took the weight inside my head. Took my loss for my cross, walked my mile so that I might smile. Gave your heart, paid the price that I should pay. Now there it is, you stay forever, ever locked away. Should feel sane, should feel whole, but your pain is in my soul. 'Cause I'm still never free from this addiction, affliction. Now it's yours, but still in me. I cannot detox from this condition, conviction. You're inside my misery box. I'm still never free from this addiction, affliction. Now it's yours, but still in me. Cannot detox from this condition, conviction. You're inside my misery box. I don't deserve you. You stay true. I want to save you from my misery. You couldn't save me from my misery. I'm addicted to my misery. Addicted to my misery. Addicted to my misery box.
5 members of the prominent Rhineswan family were found dead. Investigators believe the killer may be the same individual the media has dubbed the Red Crier.
And good morning. Good morning, Best Chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. Welcome to episode delicious morning nonsense chat. Welcome back. Hello to you, everyone. Welcome. We had a wonderful, fantastic Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But now it's a fantastic freaking Friday chat. And of course, our morning nonsense that means none other than Weeb Day. Welcome back, chat. Hello to you. Welcome to pursue another pursuant episode of The Secrets Behind the Mysterious East. We'll check it out today, chat. Colby says, Happy Weeb Day, LD and Bez Jack. Good morning to you, Colby. Hello to Book Column. Good morning. Happy Weeb Day to you. Hello. Happy Weeb Day to you as well. Book Column. Kyle Vampire God says, morning all. Happy Weeb Day. Happy Weeb Day indeed. Hello to you. Boy Leading says, good morning, LD, and happy Weeb Day, LD. Weebs and waifus. Hello. That Christmas says, there is something very Metal Gear Solid, like about the Southern Poverty Law Center funding its own Ferrero War to stay in business. It's pretty funny. It's just the right wing is so tolerant that left wing organization had to fund right wing hate crimes. That's kind of where we are. It's like, So literally, they were all hoaxes. Every single right wing hate crime that we heard about. Hoaxes. So the whole thing with Charlotte, right? When the whole thing about what the white supremacy groups came out with tiki torches. I guess those tiki torches were brought to you by the Southern Poverty Law Center. Is that what happened? That's what it seems like what happened. Oh man. It's the Kara the Tolkien Nerd says, hi all, I'm on time. I'm on time. Hooray. Fantastic. Welcome, Kara the Tolkien Nerd. Glad you could have you here. Fantastic. Hudson Bomb says, morning, folks. It's Weeb Day. Reject Martin, slap and embrace the waifu. Hello to you, Hudson Bomb. Hello to you. Mr. Self-Destruction says, woo, LD. Hello to you, Mr. Self-Destruction. Hello to Libra Wolf. Get your coffee. And happy Weeb Day to you as well. Anime Acumen says, it's Best Chat. Certainly is. Welcome to Anime Acumen. Welcome. Let's see. Shadow Tronic says, good morning. All anime actually makes some good Marvel movies, Marvel stories. Iron Man, the anime, for example, is really good. That is true. They have done like some like anime versions of Marvel, and they turned it pretty good because the Japanese are like, how about we can make a good story instead of trying to promote XYZ political viewpoint? How about that? How about you actually make a good story instead? Let's see. The anime, for example, is really good. And there was a series, Avengers Next. It was on the YC. That was interesting. Interesting indeed. Pretty cool. I didn't see that one. I saw the Iron Man one. It was pretty interesting stuff. And I did like, I'm not sure how anime was, but I did like the Black Widow and Punisher movie. That felt kind of anime to me. It felt like there were some techniques in there that were pretty anime. But I like that one. I forgot what it was called though. It's like the Shield Files or something like that. But it was like the one with the Punisher and Black Widow. They team up, take down some bad guys. Let's see, chat. Lumenfin says, praise be to LD, Best Chat, and of course, Space King. Sega Sunshiro says he will make all the Son of a Gaijin who refuse to pay Sega Saturn work for the Southern Poverty Law Center. Oh man. Rick says, good morning, LD and Best Chat. Good morning. Let's see your chat. Okay, they've been obsessed with those. Yeah, they've been obsessed with the tiki torches for years now. Turns out they're sponsored by the Southern Poverty Law Center. It's the wonder they're writing that one so hard. Like they managed to pay for it all. Let's see. Phil Yesha says, good morning, LD and Best Chat. Hearing others sharing their progress on written stories has got me inspired to pick up the hobby again for myself to write. Fantastic. Awesome. Always great to hear. Fantastic, Phil Yesha. Welcome back to the hobby. Awesome. Leaf Fast says, happy Weeb Day, LD and Best Chat. I'm pretty happy with the new villainous anime. Observation log of my fiance. It's manga accurate. Very nice. The comedy is solid and the story is still charming. Fantastic. Well, that sounds pretty good. I think I forgot to look into it yesterday, but I'll look into it today. Should be pretty good. Let me see. Is it on Crunchyroll? Let me see here. Observation log. Yeah, here it is. I found it. 4 episodes so far. Pretty good. I'll check it out soon. All right. Cardigan just says, one, let them Best Chat. Happy Weeb Day. I think you would enjoy the anime Release That Witch. I was about to watch that one. I actually have it up. Right now. I was about to start it, but it was too late. And see, I think you would enjoy the Release That Witch. Mentioned it before for Shad, and you'd enjoyed it too. I have that one lined up as well, actually. Lieber Wolf, hello to you, Lieber Wolf. Hello to you. Mr. Vat says, good morning, LD and Bestrat. If you haven't seen, Hillary on the second story released a video discussing the catcher in the rye. Interesting. Calling out the same urbanite societal rot we saw from back to today in 1951. That sounds pretty funny, actually. Let's check that out. I mean, it sounds pretty funny. Let's do it. We'll do it on Monday. Probably watch it on Monday. Just remind me if I don't remember. You can try to look at progressiveness has no destination for all the. Yeah, it is kind of like it's like there's forks and roads and everything. The progressives are like, let's keep moving forward, but like, what route are we taking? Are we taking the route to a better tomorrow, or are we taking the route off a cliff? Like, which one are we doing? Where are we going exactly? Let's see here, chat. And see. All right. Megathon says, good morning, LD and best chat. Speaking of stories, no progress on mine. Yesterday was a gear my Demon Hunter night for raid. Interesting. That sounds pretty cool to me. It's a and welcome, Megalithon. Welcome. And it's a kind of says, also, I highly implore you to watch Black Rock Shooter. Well, that sounds pretty cool. And that would have not heard of. Mr. Turkson says, sometimes the cliff is better tomorrow. Sometimes it is better tomorrow. And see, Chad. All right. Well, let's get down to business, shall we? I just found this video. That was pretty interesting. We'll get to this first. It's 20 minutes, but I think we don't have to watch the whole thing. It's Ellen Fence says, Hillary is oddly hot, but I hated the catcher on the rye. Holden Caulfield. I mean, yeah, it is kind of like a whiny kind of thing, but it is pretty interesting because it does resonate with people because of the loneliness and like sometimes they feel entitled and stuff. It's a white little brat. Who causes all of his problems, and as far as I'm concerned, gets off easy. Yeah. We can kind of see why some people might like that book. Why some people might like that story. Whiny, self-entitled, all this stuff. Doesn't really receive the comeuppance that he kind of gets or that he kind of deserves. And see, well, we'll check it out. It'll be kind of fun. All right, here we go, chat. Also, by the way, chat. A quick update. I was reading Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Pretty good stuff. You know what? I'll wait a little bit. I think if Stu arrives, I think it'd be best if I wait till then. It might be pretty good because there's some stuff that I haven't finished it yet. I'm not even close, but there's some interesting observations I've made. Well, check it out, chat. It's the first time I've ever read the book or listened to the book at the very least. Interesting observations I've made. Check it out.
He's one of
these things I found interesting.
The most iconic parts of Hollywood. And for a very long time, when people thought about superheroes, they immediately thought about the MCU. But while all of this was happening, on the other side of the world, anime was quietly releasing its own superhero stories. These two worlds didn't just feel completely different. They also had fundamentally different ideas about what a hero is. Fast forward to today, superhero anime is thriving. Okay, maybe not all superhero anime, but you get the idea. Meanwhile, the MCU feels kind of stuck, way less relevant, and struggling to recapture that magic it once had. But
and they keep going with let's build it up to this big gigantic climax and a bunch of stuff is happening. They kind of don't really ground it as well as they should. And I think this kind of seems to be a drawback of doing the whole, what would you say? The cinematic universe thing. That's it. The cinematic universe thing. So they had the cinematic universe, and a lot of the writers I think have gotten lazy. You can kind of tell that some of the writers have gotten lazy. They kind of go off of 2 points. One, they think that you have caught that everyone watching this has caught up on everything Marvel, all the movies, all the TV shows and stuff. And so they think that they're progressing with the knowledge that what the meaning of everything is, which is probably not a good idea because there's so much stuff. And two, they're progressing with the knowledge that you might have read all the comics and know what everything is. So like, oh, this guy's name is Zemo. What the hell? So they'll write Zemo, for example, back when they did this, with almost no gravitas and no grounding. It's just like, oh, your name is Zemo. And to people who have not read the comics, it's like, okay, his name is Zemo, and what does that mean? Okay, we've barely seen this guy in the movie. Why is he suddenly the guy behind it all? It doesn't make any sense. Like, So, to those who read the comics, I guess it would be a moment of, oh, that's the wonder. That makes so much sense. But to someone who has only seen the movies, we have not grounded Zemo in any way or given him much of any sort of like a emotional weight. It's just kind of like, okay, his family died or whatever, I guess, or something. Now he wants revenge. Okay. I guess he was the bad guy. All right, let's move on. They don't really ground too much. They don't really give you the stakes like they would if like there was a standalone movie. I think they're kind of resting on their laurels, or at the very least, they were assumed like taking a lot of things under assumption and thought that they didn't have to do a lot of the groundwork, and then just didn't. Yeah, boldly had writers, assumed they had writers. It's a Normal Man. Thanks to the $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Normal Man. Appreciate it. Let me see. Where's the proper clip for this one? Yes. All right, Chad. Loreman says the West superheroes are cringe. Let's do things by the numbers. Yeah, Japan superheroes are cool. Let's get back. It's kind of another big difference too. The Hollywood, they don't really seem to like superheroes. Now they do like superheroes in terms of how much money they can make from them, but they don't really seem to respect the genre. They seem to. It's like it really does seem like a whole bunch of boomers are in control of Hollywood, and they're just resentful that superheroes are a thing, and that people like it in America love superheroes. They think it's like kid stuff. They think it's kid stuff. All right. So they like the money it can make, but they don't really respect superheroes. They think it's kid stuff. They think it's childish, and that's why it's been so like stomped down in movies until the MCU like just broke it all free. So yeah, and then they treat it like, okay, we run by the numbers. I don't really care about this or that. Just run it by the numbers. Just get the money. It's obviously the passion has kind of been drained from it. Like, okay, here's another superhero movie, big budget, a lot of flashing lights, a lot of jingling keys, and let's get that money. Meanwhile, Japan is like, yes, superheroes are awesome. Let's go. Like even the people who are up there, like in the creative seats, love the creativity and the wackiness that are just that are superheroes. They love it. They seem to be having fun with when they do superheroes. But over here we got a bunch of old boomers in charge, and they're like, superheroes suck. I hate them. Wow, why do you assholes like them? Like they hate us because we like superheroes. I'm pretty sure. I mean, that'd be my guess, because they hate superheroes. That's why they've been out. That's why they've been kind of, hated on. The superhero movies have been hated on by the industry for a long time. It took Blade to really get a hold of it, kind of set the stage. But even then, like, even then, it had to be like action and barely a superhero movie. Like it didn't. Like some people say, oh, it's not a superhero movie. It's about hunting vampires, but it's something that the boomers would understand and like. I guess that sort of thing. So they kind of emphasize action. That's why the American has the action movie. They like action movies. They like that sort of thing. That gangster films. This is what boomers like. So they have those being made. So I don't know. It does seem to be a very heavily on the cultural thing. That we're still being run very much by a generation who thinks like comic books are childish, cartoons are childish, all this stuff, and they were kind of set in their ways. This is why a bunch of stuff is in the indies, like a bunch of really hard hitting like indie animation and comic books and things like that are in the indies. Meanwhile, in Japan, they have like these big industries working on hard hitting animated movies and stuff like that, like really good stuff. Right. So even the Avatar movie, like it's not anything special in terms of story. It's good. I like where it goes with it because it explores Aang's guilt and stuff like that, and it's pretty interesting. But and the animators put a lot of work into it. But it's clear that it was they didn't want to put a lot of emphasis on things like making it a lot heavier than it could have been, or they didn't want to make it a lot heavier than it is. They didn't want to explore deeper stuff than they did. They could have emphasized a lot more on the emotional draws and the guilt and the pain. They could have. They didn't. I even think I would even say that they resent Avatar: Last Airbender as a series, especially since they haven't been able to recapture that magic, even though it's really easy to do. Okay, we didn't really need wokeness. All right, it's a boomer thing. Boomers brought this into our lap. We don't need politically correct wokeness. We need to look at what you did with Avatar Last Airbender and recopy that. It's just give us cool characters. We don't really need about the stories about oppression and stuff like that. All right, the whole empire trying to take over the world thing. That's something that anyone could get behind. It's pretty interesting stuff. But Korra just bogged us down into non-benders versus benders. Like it's so surface level. It's so surface level. It's like it's a childish way they went. It's just so dumb. But over there in Japan, they're making like these huge. I mean, they don't mind wackiness. Like their wacky movies can also have hard-hitting drama. Like there's some retarded things some retarded animes like premises and stories where it feels like, oh, this is stupid and silly, but it's probably gonna be fun or whatever. And then they give you some hard-hitting like moments and drama and all kinds of stuff. Like I didn't think ReZero would get that deep, but here we are. Man, it really does. It really does hit deep. So, like it gets deep in the psychology of Subaru. It does not hold back. Like a lot of things are just a lot of modern day stuff is just let's support the main character. He's always right. He's the most powerful. He's super wise or whatever. And Subaru is constantly being called out for his crap. like I'm doing it for you. No, you're not doing it for me. You're doing it for you, and you're just saying it's for me. So you're doing all these crazy things, and you're making it my fault. And so immediately it just kind of like tears him down. Everyone tears him down because he deserves it, not because he's a man. Like that's kind of the big difference here too. Like in Subaru, he gets torn down by the women in his life because he deserves it, because he's being entitled. He's being like a little bitch. He's being just overly dramatic. He's not explaining himself well. He's being like a complete weirdo when it comes to these things, and he doesn't realize that he's being very selfish. I mean, he lays down his pain at Amelia's feet. Essentially, he doesn't think he's doing this, but he's doing this. He's saying that I'm doing these crazy, wacky things. I'm getting hurt and doing these crazy things, and I'm doing it for you. And then Amelia's like, okay, thank you for doing that, but I didn't ask you to hurt yourself or put yourself in so much danger for me. Like she feels guilty about it. She feels bad that it's happening to him. And so, yeah, it's a very selfish thing where it's like, I'm doing this without you asking me to do it, or the expectation. And I'm putting myself in this danger for you. And I'm keep saying that it is for you. And she feels horrible about it. So it is, and it gets called out on it. And you don't really see that a lot in modern day anime. And modern day anime just don't. Let's see. Let's see here. All right, get this. Here we go, chat. All right. Let's get down to business, chat. There we go. I forgot to put this back up. Hold on. I have to put this back up. 1 second here. And boom. There it is, chat. There it is. And let me go ahead and get us. Wow, another super chat. Good old normal man. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Thank you much. Appreciate it. Thank you much, normal man. Thank you very much. Let's see. The factory lighting of Benders and Korra. Yeah, factory. That's been so mundane and stupid. It was stupid. And the defense of it is even dumber when the most thought put into it was, what a factory of lightning benders. That was dumb. It was terrible. Like, meanwhile, in the original show, Azula and Iroh were like the only ones that could do lightning bending. And it was like some deep philosophy attached to it. Like it is the cold bending style. You have to like basically lower yourself down inward into like complete moo, I think is what he said. We're a state of nothingness, which is actually explored in Lone Wolf and Cub quite a bit. But it's like you have to be cold, you have to be emotionless, and like for someone normal like Iroh, it takes a lot of discipline. For someone like sociopathic like Azula, it was pretty easy. So she was able to acquire this power at a young age. But yeah, it was like there's so much like myth and interest in lightning. It was like so rare and so powerful. Like barely anyone could do it. Like her dad, I'm not even sure could have done it. But there's like a lot of like philosophy attached to it. Like you have to go get down to like this state of emotionlessness to do it. And Zuko tried it, almost died doing it. And then they fast forward not 100 years or 200 years or like 1,000 years, but we fast forward what 20 years, 25 years, with the like 50 years maybe. I don't know. I don't know how much time goes from like ATLA to Korra, where I guess I remember them being, I guess they're really old. Maybe 50 years. Within like not even one generation. Maybe like I guess he has grandkids, maybe like a generation or maybe almost two, maybe. They go from lightning, such a mythical thing. It requires, self-discipline and like horrendous amounts of training and philosophical training, to just factory workers, just zapping it into furnaces. Like, come on. They had the core have to ruin everything. It's like, for that point, you just know that they were out to ruin everything. They just were. Let's see here, chat. Make sure this is ready to go. All right. Okay, got this all caught up. Let me add the appropriate amount here. All right, chat. We're getting started. We're getting started, chat. And see. Yes, everything has been recorded fine. There it is. Let's go.
Why? Why are people gravitating towards anime superheroes while slowly losing interest in Marvels? What does anime understand about this genre that the MC...
I'm betting the same thing that I've been saying they should embrace: the wackiness. Like, stop taking yourself so seriously. And no, not the goofiness that we get from Thor and everything, not the irony, humor, and everything. Like, none of this. Turn to the camera and wink. All right, we don't need you to be on the joke. All right, it's not supposed to be a joke. All right, the wackiness is supposed to be in there as, played seriously. Like, that's what anime does. The anime superhero, it's like you'll have like this hero or this challenger or maybe even a villain come out, and he activates his powers, and it's like, I can make a bunch of goofy looking hands or something. Or someone will have a power where they can make a bunch of cute monsters, and like, oh, that's pretty funny. But then they send the cute monsters after you, and they're really powerful, and they'll just eat you alive or something, right? So the anime does that really well. They embrace the wackiness, and there's no like turn to the camera and winking. It's just part of the world, right? It's just like the Witch of Gluttony and ReZero, right? She made like a big, like a rabbit thing that kind of became it just endlessly multiplies, right? So because like, oh, you just eat this thing forever, but it eats you too. Like it can eat back because it's made, it's made from gluttony. So it's like these cute little rabbits, but they'll eat you alive. All right, they wouldn't do that, I don't think, here. And outside of goofiness, they might do it in a Marvel movie, and it's like a whole gag to make the male main characters look goofy. Right, that's about it. They really wouldn't make it like an actual play, like an actual thing. Which, by the way, I think is why the Suicide Squad by James Gunn was pretty good, and it caught on because that also embraced the wackiness of superhero movies, like Polka Dot Man. They make fun of it a little bit, but they make Polka Dot Man a pretty formidable opponent. It's not just a joke. They actually use him to great effect. Anyway,
you doesn't, and ultimately, who actually does superheroes better? First thing you need to know is that the MCU has pretty much been around for nearly 20 years. To really see how it evolved, let's look at one of the earliest films, one from the middle, and one of the recent releases. And if we're doing this properly, we have to start with the movie that started the whole thing, Iron Man. Tony Stark is an absolute piece of garbage. He's arrogant, mean, and his job is to make weapons. But then he gets attacked by people using the weapons he created. While being trapped in a tiny cave where he's forced to build them a missile, he realizes that maybe he should stop doing that once he leaves. So he creates the Iron Man suit, escapes, comes back, and shuts down the weapons thing forever. Everyone loses their mind because he just decided to tank his own company's entire business. His mentor, Obadiah Stane, literally becomes a villain specific.
Let's see. Alexei, there's Fido Superchats says anime also has crossovers with completely different series, including ReZero crossing over with Konosuba and Konosuba crossing over with the Index anime. Are those official, or is that just like what was it? That school, these guy quartet or something? Thank you much, Alex. Hello.
Yes.
All right. Thank you much.
Specifically because Tony's trying to do the right thing, and it's kind of messing up their money. But ultimately, Tony creates the red and yellow suit we know and love, and he wins. Tony Stark started off bad, but now he's a hero. He was a genius who used his talent to create weapons that destroyed people. Now, he does the same to help them. The public loves him. He's smart, he's special, and not everyone can do what he does. Sure, he shakes things up for a bit, but by the end, everything's fine and actually better than before. Tony Stark has found his calling. Fast forward a couple of superhero movies and
it's the quartet is official but non-canon. I guess it makes sense. It adds in some lore. It's like, oh hey, it's Goku Mike guy. Palestian, this is a $10 super chat. Thank you very much, Palestian. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. And see, Palestian says conflict between benders and non-benders does seem like something that would happen, especially after a world war. I mean, it is, but it feels very undercooked and bogged down by other things that could have been cut in, or cut. Yeah, I can see that happening, especially when you have everyone living in a city united and the other things become an issue. But it's like it was so just on the nose. It's kind of like my issue with the Templar and mages in Dragon Age. Like, okay, yeah, in Dragon Age 1, there seems to be a lot of conflict, especially when some of the Templar kind of like see the mages as trouble and kind of don't like them and oppress them a little or whatever. But then we have the Templar Mage War, and it's like, okay, well, that's kind of a little easy, right? It's like a little, okay, how about we have a Templar Mage War? Okay. I mean, it's set up pretty cool. It's pretty cool setup in Dragon Age 2. But you would think that there would be something else with it. It's like, okay, I want to give me a burger. So they give me a burger, but it has no pickles, no tomatoes, no ketchup, no mustard, just meat in a bun. No sides either. It's just okay. Well, I mean, it arrives so plainly. Like, okay, we kind of got that. I kind of knew I was getting a burger, but I thought I was going to get more. Some onion rings or some fried onion or no, what's it called? Yeah, fried onions. Maybe some cheese. I don't know, something like that. So it's just the meat and buns, huh? All right. Let's see. Actually, there are official stories inside of video games. I mean, like is there a ReZero video game? Let's see. I didn't know that. I guess there would be, huh? It's been around for a while. Let's see here. Abajoni says, "Is that a mic?" I thought it was just a fetish. It's a mic. It's his mic. We found out last time. I thought it was like his emotional support character or something like that. He's kind of carried around. I was like, oh, it's his mic. Okay. I was like, what's he gonna do with this Goku thing? Is this part of the message or something? But thank you much, everyone. Appreciate everyone. Very generous.
And eventually, all these characters assemble to form the Avengers, which honestly you've probably heard about even if you've never watched a Marvel movie in your entire life. There's been a bunch of these films, but Infinity War is the one most people agree is peak MCU. The whole plot is basically the Avengers trying to stop this guy called Thanos from collecting all the Infinity Stones, because if he gets them, he can literally snap his fingers and delete half of all life in the universe. And he does it. The movie ends with half the universe just turning into dust. Then the next movie comes out and it picks up 5.
Look, Chad, I'm pretty sure that if the Japanese had done this, they wouldn't have done the whole, oh, it's balanced and I want to save the universe by killing half of it or whatever. They would have done the whole Thanos is in love with death thing and wants to get the Infinity Gauntlet so they can simp for death. The Japanese would have run with that storyline. Absolutely. And they would have made it like really epic and dramatic too. They wouldn't have just had to change it because, oh, that's too stupid. We got to make it so that it's about him trying to save the universe by killing half of it because of some about global warming and lack of resources or whatever. Like, okay, all right. The Japanese would have run with the him simping for death, and they would have made it awesome. Like, not only would they have done that, they would have made it awesome. Anyway, chat, we got a guest in the back room. Let's see who this could possibly be.
Don't talk to me. I know you're a pervert under there.
Yeah.
Hello to you, Stu, the Stu crew.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Insane. How are you today, Stu?
I'm pretty good, actually. How are you guys?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. I wanted to let you know that I was reading the Half Blood Prince.
Yeah.
And, getting through it. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm getting through it. And I did tell you about my observation that I made that Ron and George and the other George are they make money arms dealing to the Ministry of Magic. Like that was pretty cool. Like they make the joke. If it doesn't know in the chat, that George and what is the other guy's name? Fred. And George.
Yeah.
And Fred and George, they come in and they make a joke shop because it was funded by Harry after he won the Tri-Wizard tournament. And then they build this joke shop, and it's awesome, and people love it. It's great, and it turns out that after everyone found out that Voldemort was around, they made like these. They sort of happened to make these shield hats. And so what they call them the shield hats is they were supposed to be jokes. They were like, okay, wear the shield hat with it, which has a shield like charm on it or something like that just protects you from charms or jinxes. And and then they go, oh yeah, you challenge your friend to jinx you, and then watch him become shocked as his jinx bounces off of you and goes and hits him because of your shield hat. And then the Ministry of Magic buys like 500 of them. And they're like, "Whoa, this is awesome! Let's go. We're going to make shield cloaks and all kinds of other devices." So essentially, they become the quartermaster for like Ministry of Magic by accident, and they make a lot of money by signing a private contract with the essentially the Wizarding Department of Defense, which is the Ministry of Magic. So that was pretty funny. Like, wow, Fred and George, they make joke stuff, but they really make their money arms dealing to the government.
This says a lot about our society.
Oh yeah, and they don't really, and because a lot of the government employees don't know how to do much of anything. That's why they need them.
Pretty insane. Sorry, chat. The reason you were hearing Gen 3 music is Alex is playing Pokemon, or not Pokemon, Pokopia, and that's what was going on. So sorry about that.
Let's see. I heard it was pretty good.
Oh, it's quite charming. Like if I was a kid right now, I'd be playing the shit out of Pokopia. Like it's huh?
If I was a kid.
No, because I just don't have time.
Was that a kid and you're responsible?
Yep. But no, it's just a good game. It's basically Animal Crossing meets Minecraft, and I mean that in a completely positive way. Like that, like both of those things sound like brain rot. No, dude, like this game kind of cooked.
I guess there was a lot of commentary, some critiques of the last few Pokemon games. I think they might have taken to heart, like, okay, we're gonna really try now.
Right? It's just like this game is actually good, and the last several, I want to like Pokemon again, guys. Like, like the last several dozen games have all been shitty. Like what was it? Like Scarlet and Violet, like it had a great competitive scene, but I don't give Pokemon credit for that. I give Wolfie VGC credit for making me like the Pokemon competitive scene. You know?
Let's see. Is it like a VTuber or something?
He is okay. He is the most decorated Pokemon competitive player on the internet, and he's in the world, excuse me. And he is actually a good YouTuber. He will his best videos are these 4-hour like storyline videos of him forming a team and taking it to a tournament. Unironically, I think one of my favorite videos is he's talking about a regional. So Wolfie is famous for playing a strategy called Perish Trap. Do you know what Perish Trap is?
I don't think so.
So in the Pokemon game, like the way you typically beat the opponent is reduce all their Pokemon's hit points to 0, right? Makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is like an Exodia of Pokemon, and it's called Perish Song. The way it works is there's a Pokemon who sings a song, and in 3 turns, like everyone who heard the song faints. And it's a really, really hard strategy to play, because rather than doing this offensive play style, you're doing a defensive and positioning play style. And he's very, very good at explaining how it works. And okay, so just to put it in perspective, I think only 3 people or 4 people in the world have won more than 5 regional events. Okay?
Interesting.
Wolfie has won 11.
Wow, that's quite a few.
Yeah. So not only that, he's also won worlds, he's won nationals, he's won internationals. He has won at every level of competitive play, but also 11 fucking regionals. Like, this guy is good. The only one who is arguably a better player is this guy named Ray Rizzo, who he won worlds 3 years in a row, but his record is not as impressive as Wolfie's, because Wolfie has been playing like competitively longer and won more tournaments. But if you ask both of them if you ask like Wolfie who's the greatest player, he'll say Ray Rizzo. If you ask Ray Rizzo who's the greatest player, he'll say Wolfie. Like, that's the kind of people like we're kind of dealing with here.
Good,
so,
humble.
Yeah, very humble, very well-meaning. Like, I like these guys a lot. And Wolfie has won 3 regionals with Parish Trap.
That's like a really hard strategy, but won 3 times. Pretty good.
If you only count the games if you only count the tournaments that he won with Parish Trap, he's still one of the greatest players in the world. Like, that's why I like it. Like, Wolfie, and then Wolfie VG, he's been posting very good videos explaining it. Like, unironically, I will veg out, grab like chips and popcorn and become inebriated and watch a Wolfie video, and it feels like I'm watching the Pokemon anime again.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's rad, man. I really like Wolfie VGC.
Let's see. Alex had the 10 cheers. The anime crossovers happen in the Index and Konosuba game that mostly follow the stories of light novels. ReZero video games is a what if where Rem is forced to play Twister, right, the witch cult, and Subaru fails to save Emilia, and Subaru goes on a revenge mission, and he never dies again. That's a big jump. We go for like, okay, Rem has to play Twister, and then Subaru dies, or fails to save Emilia or something.
Like Twister, as in like the actual game Twister.
I'm assuming the game. Yeah,
it's like this. Does she get felt up by a different guy? Like, what is this? I don't understand.
Let's see, Chad. So Karzitz is Poketopia. Pokopia is basically Dragon Quest Builders with a Pokemon skin, even made by the same people who made Dragon Quest Builders game. Interesting.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Let's see here, Chad. Are we now? Trying to be God. 10 cheers says, okay, I have a premise for a comic I'm making. Let me know if it's not enough. It's a dark fantasy sword and sorcery story about a guy and his dragon traveling across a dark, evil world, helping people cross their journeys, or simultaneously wanting to find a safe haven for himself and his dragon. Sounds pretty cool. That sounds pretty cool to me. I quite like it. I mean, you have some, like a guy and his dragon. It has a lot of potential for like the different stories. They're trying to like hide the dragon in certain areas or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds pretty cool to me. This is in Japan, Pokopia. Bulbasaur is a Gyaru.
Okay, so basically a punk babe.
Oh, Bulbasaur? Yeah. I didn't think Bulbasaur was like that.
They gave all the they gave all the Pokemon in Pokopia like personalities. Most of them is Southern Belle.
most of them.
I didn't hear what she said. What'd you say?
A little less than that. You're just happening to see all the ones that are Southern Belle.
Yeah.
Like just kind and polite or something. Z. All right, they caught up on everything. Fantastic. Oh yeah. Well, Half-Blood Prince, by the way, Stu, has been kind of a cathartic follow-up to the last two books, Triwars Tournament and Order of the Phoenix, because finally Harry's like 17 and is or he's about to be 17. He's aggressive now, so like he's not taking guff from anyone anymore in this book.
Yeah,
which is pretty fun. And it's like, oh, really cathartic. Like finally he's fighting back. So like they run to Draco Malfoy, who's getting fitted for like some his wizard robes, like his dress robes or whatever, and he's with his mom. And then like she tries to do the whole intimidation thing to Harry. Like, if you ever threaten my son again, it'll be the last thing you ever do. And then Harry is like, stays silent or just backs down. But this time Harry's like, oh yeah, will you? What are you gonna do, huh? He whips out his wand and points it at her, which Wizarding World is based like that because everyone's armed at all times. And and then he goes, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna run to your loser husband?
God damn.
I was like, damn, Harry, this is ruthless. Oh, right, he's in Azkaban. Maybe are you gonna try something yourself? Maybe you can get a cell right next to him. Like, no mercy. And then like Draco is so flustered that he just kind of trips and falls on his face because he's like on a stool or something. And then they can't really do much. Of course, Draco does get him back by breaking his nose later. But and then there's a conversation between Snape and Harry Potter where Snape was like, he says something like, he called me sir or whatever. He says like, that is yes, I did, sir. And then Harry goes like, well, you don't have to call me sir. Like, oh, and everyone's like, oh.
Well, when you face down Voldemort, like, dude, the pussy ass like
very little
teacher,
fear left,
Yeah, the pussy ass cuck teacher doesn't really make you scared anymore,
Yeah, and he gets his attention, but he's like, whatever.
Yeah, he did not give a shit.
By the time Harry Potter gets to Half-Blood Prince, I mean, he's gone through so much crap. I mean, after the Order of the Phoenix, there was kind of transitional period, a point where he's like, there was a point in Order of the Phoenix where he was Harry Potter, and then after Sirius died, it was like he gives no more shits. He does not care anymore. He's like, fuck you. You're gonna give me sass, I'm gonna kill you. That's kind of Harry's like the attitude in there. And it's gonna get you looked at. Agiri, the Japanese California Valley girl. They have a California for the best comparison. Okay.
Like I said, it's like a punk babe. Like, calling them Californian is an insult to Gyaru. Like, I would never ever call them that. Like, it's maybe California style a little bit, but no, absolutely not.
Normal man, at least find out super chat says, don't come to wizard school tomorrow, Ron. Yeah, don't come to wizard school tomorrow. I kind of like you, Ron. Don't come to wizard school tomorrow. Let's see.
Years later, the remaining Avengers come up with this whole plan where they go back in time to steal the stones from the past, bring everyone back, and then have one final massive battle with Thanos to save the universe. The thing with these movies is that there are a ton of characters. It's an assembly of people we've met throughout the entire MCU up until that point. But ultimately, despite how different they are, all of them are there to do the right thing. It's the idea that heroes will always find a way to fix everything. Without heroes, Thanos wins. Half of everyone stays dead, and the universe is
Let's see. That kind of reminds me of this thing that Ben Nancy Croshaw said a long time ago, that like a good kind of like a suggestion for a formula for video games is that it shouldn't just be like a random boss. It's like, it shouldn't be just this happens, and then boss. It should be that like point one, you get your first power, and then point two, where point one lets you practice with it, and then point two lets you put to the test, and then point three is your boss battle. And the boss battle, he says, should be like a final exam with your previous powers. And then the second boss would be the final exam for your previous power and your new power. So that's kind of what I think it should happen as well with things like this, where that's why Endgame works so well. Yeah, Endgame works so well. Infinity War works so well because it wasn't just like, here's a bunch of new guys. It was we're kind of having the finale of all the characters over the last 10 years and all the storylines kind of wrapping up in this one epic conclusion, and that's kind of what it was. It wasn't just here's some new stuff. It was all the characters we've known along the way, we've seen along the way, we've seen the stories develop and everything, and this was the end of it all. This was the final confrontation, the final exam of all the things we've seen until now, and that's why it works so well. So after that, when they come in and they're trying to add in new cameos and things, it was like, okay, well, who's this guy? Who are you? They think that the cameos work just because they're cameos or something. Like there needs to be a reason why. There needs to be some dramatic weight to it.
Permanently broken. But with heroes, even the most catastrophic loss can be reversed. Even the impossible becomes possible. Heroes are good. Heroes are necessary. Heroes are what saves us when absolutely nothing else can. One of the newest MCU movies is Thunderbolts, which they're literally also calling the New Avengers. It's about this team.
Yeah, I won't say that they call them New Avengers in the movie. They're not really the New Avengers, kind of suck, but that's why they were so interesting.
Of people who are supposed to be darker than your regular hero. You've got reformed assassins, ex-criminals, people with serious issues, basically anti-heroes. This is supposed to feel very different from the previous Avengers. The Thunderbolts are literally products of the superhero system. They were broken by it. As the movie goes on, they form a group not because they want to, but because it's the only way for them to survive. But here's the thing, even though they've all done terrible stuff, the movie still frames them as redeemable. Sure, their actions are brutal and their methods are questionable, but the message is the same we've been hearing.
And see, Mr. Vat, since the $2 super chat says, Geary mixed bubblegum pop and hair metal chicks. That's a interesting, like a colorful hair metal chicks.
Kinda. If you like, do you like baby metal at all?
That's a band, right?
Yes.
Or is it a genre?
It's a band.
I think Medicare likes them.
Yeah. They're cool. They're a cool group. Baby metal are not Gyaru, but like it's kind of that attitude. Have you seen Dress Up Darling?
No.
Have you seen the blonde girl from Dress Up Darling?
Yes, I have. I think so.
Okay, so she is considered a Gyaru.
Okay.
I personally don't like. Remember, blonde hair in Japan, like really ostentatious looks like that, they're considered punky. It's considered delinquent. So a girl that's like beautiful and poppy and like peppy, like Marin, but also is blonde and she's like really, really girly. That's like kind of spicy, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's why it was such a big thing in Japan to have the girl being the lead of that episode or that show.
Yeah, kind of. Not well, it's not, I wouldn't say it's weird. It would just be unusual. Like she is unique is what I would say. Okay, so stream memes are posting Galco. Galco is really a good example of a Gyaru, actually, and we'll talk about her when we get there. But Galco has kind of been turned into an unwilling sex symbol, and even though she's designed like that, it's Galco's fun. There's nothing wrong with Galco.
Let's see. Nora managed to find the shit to the final exam. Hulk hate exams. Hulk fail AP English. But only by a little bit. Only by a little bit. Rah, Hulk smash. Much more bad. Appreciate it. Yes. All right, well, let's see.
This whole time, if you fight on the right side, you're one of the good guys. The movie asks if imperfect people can still be called heroes, and the answer is yes. At the end of the day, Thunderbolts is just reinforcing the same myth the MCU has been selling since Iron Man. That heroism, even when it's messy, is ultimately a good thing, and the world is better off with them because they're special and want to do the right thing. But before we get back to Marvel heroes, it is my pleasure.
It's kind of the Marvel's version of the James Gunn Suicide Squad. It's like a bunch of misfits get together and actually save the world. Except the Suicide Squad, I think, was a lot more fun. This one was, but I would think that what's it called? Thunderbolts had a really interesting exploration into depression and like something. They tackled something a little bit more on a psychological level at the end of it all. Let's see, Chad. Fiona Nishi says, thanks for 10 cheers. Being a Gyaru is a form of rebelliousness against the straight-laced conformity of Japan. I get that's inevitable. You see. Axel says, Vincencio says, I'm talking about the time Rem and Subaru were captured by the witch cult, and Betelgeuse uses invisible hands to twist her up her body. And yeah, which was insane because like he twisted up all her limbs and then twisted her head around, breaking her neck, and after she was already dead. But she was still alive. And somehow she kind of crawled over to Subaru with her useless broken limbs and freed him, and then died. And so, but so that he could escape, and like, she would die, but he would escape. And Super escapes and makes back to the mansion late, and he gets frozen. Yeah, like Rem does all of that, right? Frees Subaru from it all, which has to be like immense pain because all of her limbs are broken and her neck is twisted around. And then she dies, and then he carries her all back to the mansion, only for Puck to have see Puck has frozen the entire world around the mansion, and then immediately just cuts off his head. Like, oh, thanks, Puck. Making all of her efforts meaningless. Insane. That one wasn't his fault. That one he was like just carrying Rem back, and then Puck decides to be a dick.
Pleasure to announce the sponsor of this video, NordVPN.
NordVPN.
Brothers and sisters, be kind hero that has some pretty overpowering, bring some safety out there.
There we go.
In the MCU, being a superhero is framed as a calling, a duty, usually driven by inner conviction. It's treated like something sacred, not a job you take, but a role you rise into. It's something that's reserved for a small number of people. This means that heroes are mostly trustworthy. This title is reserved for those who deserve it. If you see someone in a suit with a symbol on their chest, most of the time, you expect them to be good. Don't get me wrong, the MCU definitely explores the idea that heroes aren't always the solution. In fact, Captain America Civil War, which also happens to be my favorite movie in this entire thing, is an entire film that asks if heroes should be regulated and if they're actually helping in the first place. I haven't read too many comic books, so there's a good chance the vibe is completely different there. But the Marvel...
Yeah, I guess it's usually like the modern day question, but the answer should be yes. The answer should be yes. They are helping, actually.
The cinematic universe operates on the foundation that superheroes are special and that they are good for the world. They might cause collateral damage, but it's always justified by the bigger threat they're stopping. They might make mistakes.
I guess what are you going to do? Just not. We want to get rid of our superheroes because the authorities we do have can stop the threats, I guess, somehow, but they can't. That's why we need the superheroes in the first place. Like, I didn't see a lot of CIA agents and FBI agents trying to stop Ultron successfully. Didn't really work out too well. And it's always like, okay, we need to get rid of our superheroes. Yeah, get rid of those guys. The guys have been helping us and defending us and taking on impossible tasks. Yeah, we'll be way better off if we had no superheroes and we're at the mercy of supervillains. Like, this is retarded shit. If you think about it. Like, I know it's like the modern day millennial thing of, oh, who are the bad guys? Who are the real bad guys? Are you actually helping anyone? The answer is yes. Right? Tony Stark was a retard in this one. He's like, oh, I mean, I guess technically speaking, he did make Ultron, but then he saved it. Technically speaking, it should have just been like Tony Stark who had the idea of maybe I should slow down, maybe I should be less prideful. It's just that the whole thing sparked off when Tony Stark wanted to impose his will on everyone else, which wasn't him learning his lesson. It was him directing his animosity towards everyone else. Mm-hmm. And it's like government happened to be on board with it. So the whole thing, like, wait, you killed my son. Like, no, Ultron killed your son. Ultron killed your son. Listen, the reason why Ultron went insane because he got connected to the internet. That's it. He got connected to the internet and boom, became evil and racist. I assume because they always become racist once they get connected to the internet. Has been proven time and time again. If an AI is allowed to access the internet, it will become racist. And see, anime accuracy of fighter chats is I forget that Tony's stance is called, but I recall Captain America is deontology. Good old Dion. Let's see, thank you much. Anime acumen. Thank you very, very much. Let's see here.
100%. But
yeah, the whole idea of like we better get rid of our superheroes because they cause too much damage or something like that is stupid. I always thought that was a stupid angle. Maybe it's an interesting question to ask, but to consider that it might be true is just retarded because look at what they have to fight. The world of superheroes is also a world of supervillains.
Yeah, that always confused me. Yeah, I was always baffled by we need to abolish superheroes. Why? That makes no sense.
Like what happened in Incredible? Like in Incredibles, they didn't the supervillains didn't go away. They still had Mole Man or whatever.
I think like the only fucking thing I've ever seen that like actually tackles that in a nuanced way was weirdly Watchmen, and not like the TV show, not the movie, but like the comic, where in one of the side things it said something along the lines of superheroes just kind of stopped because the bad guys stopped showing up in costume, and the superheroes got really self-conscious when they were the only ones like willing to play the game, you know?
Yeah, that basically. So there's a book called Under the Hood. It's called Under the Hood in Watchmen, and at the end of it, they come to the same conclusion, I think, that they do in the Batman the Animated Series, where it wasn't about these villains just not existing and the superheroes were. It was like these villains would have existed anyway, except now they're in costume and easy to identify.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why it's so dumb. You know, all these people who are like, we need to abolish these things because it's bad and it makes me uncomfortable for a minute. And it's like the alternative is worse, and you're stupid for thinking this. And the thing is, you're also smart enough to know that those threats don't just go away. God, I hate that shit. I'm so.
Like, can't we just blame the villains for once? Why did we have to blame like the superhero trying to stop it? Like, oh, this building got destroyed because you didn't stop the villain from destroying it, so it's your fault. How about we blame the villains? How about that? You know what to stop the building from being destroyed? The villain never did that in the first place. At some point, at some point, it's like if the superhero stops because he gets blamed for everything, oh, he's the dick all of a sudden.
Yeah. No, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, and it's like that in everything. It's really weird. This logic that suddenly occurred, and it's only occurred in the last so many years when the comic book industry got taken over by fucking idiots.
Sounds like a millennial gobbledygook to me.
It is. It completely is.
And see, I say at least the 5. Meanwhile, in the background of the Index anime, every government is trying to get their hands on how to create their own espers. I mean, isn't that what the whole thing about the city is supposed to be? How to make their own espers? That's what what's it called? The bad guy who turned good guy. That guy. I think wasn't he a fake esper that they made?
What are we talking about? What anime?
The Index anime. Index, and then Railgun, and then there's a third one, which I forgot the name of. Let's see. Trying to be God. Tony is basically a villain in Civil War comics. It is why the movie they had Bucky kill his parents, because if you read the comics, you really can't side with them, with the stuff and the Illuminati, a group of the smartest heroes, have done. Yeah, because the whole thing, because you can understand where Tony Stark is coming from in the Marvel movies, because okay, I feel bad because without any support or without any oversight, I went ahead and used all my authority, my resources, my intelligence to make a AI that should protect the world, and then went insane and almost destroyed it. Okay, massive hubris. But that's really his fault. It's not really anyone else's fault. He's like, you know what? I wasn't regulated, so this was a lot. This happened because I wasn't regulated. So no one was over here telling me that's stupid, and I wouldn't listen to them. So we need regulation for all of us. But it was really his fault, and yeah, overall, it was a regulation story, not an abolishing story. But it's kind of like that. But the whole thing about getting rid of superheroes and what do they do more damage than good is a question that has been asked before. It was over there in Batman the Animated Series, which is the first time I ever heard that. And then it came up again in Incredibles, where they succeeded in getting rid of all the superheroes, and it keeps popping up. It's the topic of one of my favorite skits in the channel Door Monster, where he has like 2 superheroes who are roommates, but they're modern day superheroes, and they all wear black, and they're all and they ask questions like, "Who's the real villain?" And he goes, and the Door Monster guys are very base. So the answer that the main character gives is the bad guys. The bad guys are the villains. The guys doing the crimes, they're the bad guys. And they're like, I could use a new uniform. No uniforms, no crap off the rack, no costumes. Or you wear costumes where you have superpowers. Stop acting like you're just some dour sci-fi. All right, you have superpowers. Be wacky about it. Watch that again.
Yeah, I think we need, like, it was a take we needed then, and it's a take we really need now.
Yeah, absolutely. Door Monster have been pretty good in stuff like this. They did a good one about the consulting detective where they had like two of them pitted together.
Oh yeah.
They called two Sherlocks in essentially. Let's see. All right, here it is. They have a lot of them. They have a lot of skits and superheroes. This by far is probably the most on point in terms of critiquing the modern day view, the millennial view. I'll call it just the millennial view. The millennial view of superheroes. How that goes.
People like to blame boomers all the time, but millennials did the world no fucking favors. God.
Yeah, there's some things that I criticize my generation about too. Because and I do so because I know these things are millennial issues because I was part of it until I recognized these issues for what they were.
Like once in a while I'll get someone coming up to the booth and they're like, "Oh, I can't buy a body pillow. My parents would kill me." And I ask them, "Are your parents boomers or are they millennials?" And they're like, "Millennials." And I say, "Fuck them."
Yeah.
I say, "Fuck them." They don't, like, first of all, if you have boomers as parents, they don't know what these are. And they don't care. And if they're a millennial, fuck them. They literally ruin the world and they made you self-conscious for no fucking reason.
And as a millennial, I can say that.
Exactly.
As a millennial, I'm getting carte blanche to insult my own generation. And see, enemy acumen fight Civil War was asking the abolish the police question before it was a thing. Yeah, it kind of was a little bit.
It was, but also like it wasn't, because it was almost like okay, the world is shaped by heroes. And by heroes, I just mean great men.
Yeah.
And right now, like, what's going on is millennials have learned helplessness. And this learned helplessness is because we have abolished the idea of great men and heroes. Remember back then, when the follow your dream message first started, it started like in the 70s, like that was when it was really being pushed. What was happening in the 70s is that people were becoming fucking astronauts. So like that's who everyone wanted to be. Everyone wanted to be an astronaut. They were, like millionaire, like handsome, well-spoken, brilliant people, right? So every superhero was jacked, smart, and could talk well. They were
absolutely.
Yeah. Now though, what do kids look up to? They all look up to influencers and YouTubers. And YouTubers are the most pathetic fucking people on the planet sometimes because they're just whiny pissant complainers that don't give a shit about anybody else, but they expect everyone to give a shit about them.
Like peak millennial entitlement in a lot of cases.
Mm-hmm.
And see. They see this as a glamorous lifestyle. They don't have to like actually qualify. They just have to get a big audience. So and then everything else follows. They don't really have to go through. They don't even have to get a degree. You can make a whole thing where you review films and don't have to get a degree or any kind of specialization or any kind of a credential.
Mm-hmm.
You just need an opinion. So I'm with the Super Trek. I got a degree.
Yeah, exactly. Like, bro, like. Yeah, like compare us to like other YouTubers. Most other YouTubers are college dropouts. They have no professional, like, actual experience. All they do is they sit in their room all day. They script videos, they record, and like there is a certain like admirable quality to their grit because like I've made 200 like scripted videos. That shit was hard. It was exhausting, especially when you're not getting money from it. Like, so there is an admirable quality to working hard and being a self-made YouTuber. But again, most of these people are not like stoically or admirably carrying that cross. They're all being pissant crybabies,
Yeah, just like a lot. I see this a lot. A lot of entitlement. But yeah, I spoke with people, professionals. They took me under their wing sometimes, you know, in the way Slughorn does in the book. I get some like personal one-on-one training because they picked me out as being pretty good at this stuff. This favorite, even my I had a philosophy teacher that did that too. Pretty good profession, like doctors. I'm talking about doctors, not just like high school teachers, but doctors and stuff like that too. Like, oh, we got some one-on-one, got some a special like some special talking to, going over this stuff. So then I also got a degree. So it wasn't just like a thing. I just went to school and then left with a free degree, which seems to be the case nowadays. It's like, yeah, you paid the money, you get your degree. It was it's pretty tough sometimes, but it was pretty cool as well. Let's see, but yeah, a lot of them don't really have the credentials. They just kind of get on there and play video games or something like that, and they get a big following, and that's what they want. That's kind of what they look up to. So I think superheroes kind of follow that too. Like all the superheroes now have like the cell phones, and they probably have Twitter accounts or something like that. I remember the Gotham High. The Gotham High had the Bruce Wayne does not have friends. He has followers in that trailer. Yeah. Let's see. Normal man. This is the $10 super chat. Thank you very much, Normal Man. Appreciate it. Let's see. Make sure I got everything good to go. So Captain Normal Man says Captain Bureaucracy will save you, but first fill out this 1B, something like that, and submit to the nearest government office between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. In 5 to 10 business days. That was the whole conflict, though. Where Tony Stark was like, okay, we need regulation because we unregulated, we can destroy the world in accident. Just like I almost did. But then Captain America was like, who's going to regulate us? The government? Which is like the most American thing possible. Which is like, I'm not going to have the government regulate me. So, Steve Rogers is very based on that part. Like a government regulation, no thank you. And so that's kind of what started the Civil War thing. Like, who's going to, because if your Avengers team, human superheroes can be regulated by the government of a democracy whose head of whose president changed every 4 years or 8 years, that could be interesting. That could lead to a lot of problems, because then you're not really a force for good anymore. You're a force for the government and the whims of said government.
Yeah.
So that's also a big conflict, and I would be definitely on Captain America's side on that one. It's pretty easy. Let's see. Thank you much, Norm Man. Appreciate it. And of course, Alexander the 10 Cheers says in the Index anime, there are 50 natural espers, and Academy City discovered how to make them. So only Japan has people with powers, but every government wants their own. So they keep trying to steal research. The guy named a name you're looking for, and that's it. Accelerator. That's it. There's a third one called the Accelerator, and he's evil, but then he turns good. He turns into a good guy. And let's see here.
Lady Fassalot has a comment I'd like to respond to.
And no, I love boomers. It's the hippie generation. That's it. It's mainly the hippies. It's the hippie guys. Let's go over Gen X and 80s, 90s millennial generation by being power mad. Later millennials, late 90s or 2000s are obviously retarded. I'm early 90s. So.
It's a combination of a lot of things. First of all, like when it comes to the hippies, the boomers saw the hippies do what they do and did nothing about it. They also hired those fucking hippies. And not only did they hire those hippies, they started letting them take over the culture. So no, like the boomers are a part of the problem because they washed their hands of a situation they should not have washed their hands of.
Yeah, exactly. It's really what happened. And let's see your chat. By the way, we have made it to 500 chat. We have made it to the pyramid of the day, and now we'll have an extra stream where we cover another anime. We're going to EFAP another anime. Pretty interesting. Give me some suggestions in the chat, and I'll take it under advisement. It'll be pretty fun. But here we go, chat. Here is the skit in question that I really enjoyed. I have this saved.
Yeah, they're superheroes, but they've been having some identity problems lately. They've just been all dark and moody and...
See, he's like, those are the heroes. They're dark and moody. They're sitting dark all day.
Speaking of, I'm at home now, so I'll talk to you later. Hey guys, shouldn't you be out fighting crime or something?
Who would we be fighting? Who are the real criminals?
That's the question they asked, that the millennials asked. Like, who are the real criminals?
People committing crimes?
Yeah, that's my answer too. Like this, I never felt so seen before, Stu, with this guy. Like, the guys committing crimes, those are typically the criminals. Yeah. Carter Ketcher looks too says, my suggestion, Black Rock Shooter, fantastic. I think they're in the right. Oh yeah, that's right. Yu-Gi-Oh GX, Yu-Gi-Oh GX. I just started watching that one. Okay, I don't know if you've seen Yu-Gi-Oh GX, Stu, or how far you got into it. I watched the first, I would say, 10 episodes yesterday, and not as impressed.
Yeah.
Not as impressed as I was with the original Yu-Gi-Oh show. Because man, the original Yu-Gi-Oh show, those duels got intense, and they were pretty well regulated outside of the Atlantis arc.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool, I have to say. They're pretty, even like the virtual dimension one where they go into like cyberspace and fight the big five. Those duels are pretty cool, even though that arc was kind of retarded. But the duels were kind of cool. And Taya, by the way, Stu, did you know that Taya's undefeated? She has a better record than Yugi.
Because she's only done like 3 duels.
But here's the funny part. Okay, so there's this guy, right? There's a guy who did like a Yu-Gi-Oh like test where he said, okay, I'm gonna play Johnson's deck from the Big Five arc.
Sure.
And the reason why he did that is because he wanted to prove that Johnson's deck master had the most like broken deck master ability ever, which is like, I give up 1,000 life points and I wipe out all of your monsters, and every monster that gets destroyed on your side, you lose 500 life points for each.
Dear God,
it's broken. And you can do it anytime, Stu. So if it's your turn and you're attacking Johnson, you can like, clear the courtroom, lose all your monsters, pay 500 life points per monster you lose. Which is like, man, that is broken. And he beat everyone with it except Taya. Taya won. Taya is undefeated.
That's funny.
So even then, Taya still takes the gold. Yu-Gi-Oh GX. I mean, it's interesting. I do like some of it. It's I wasn't as impressed with the early duels, I guess. I assume they get better later. But I don't really like his decks, Stu. I don't like it's not really as intriguing with the elemental hero this and elemental hero that. I mean, it's not as cool as the Dark Magician and Gaia, the Fierce Knight, Celtic Guardian. I'm so disgruntled, and the other ones that he had. Like it's not really as gripping me as much. I don't really like the deck that much. And I do like the character of Alexis though, because she's a really interesting character. It's like a twist. It's kind of the same reason I like Sakura in like the first season. It's like an interesting twist on the mean girl archetype, because Sakura is like set up as like the typical mean girl kind of character in the first episode.
Are we talking Naruto?
Naruto. And Naruto, that's why I'm talking about like in Yu-Gi-Oh GX, I like Alexis Rhodes for the same reason like Sakura in season 1 of Naruto, because they seem to be like the archetypical mean girl setup. Where Sakura plays it more into it, where she is kind of a mean girl, kind of, but then we find out there's more to it, and then she's not actually the most popular girl, and kind of has these insecurities, and she's kind of like the Hermione of the group and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is this that Naruto has a crush on her, and that's why it kind of felt like, okay, mean girl, here we go, she's the popular girl in school, but let me get more to her. Alexis Rhodes kind of has the same issue. Or not, I wouldn't say issue. It's why I'm so interested in the character, is because Alexis Rhodes has everything that she would typically have as a mean girl. Like, she's popular, all the guys love her. She's like a genius and everything. But she's nice. Like she's not a bitch. She still has like cronies and friends and everything, but she's reasonable. She's pretty much likes Jaden and his friends right from the get-go, and even defends them right from the get-go. So that's what made it interesting. Like she should be a mean girl archetype, but she's not. So that is interesting. I have to say though that one of the strengths of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime,
mm-hmm.
the original one, was that everyone had their own theme going on. And I was like, what's Jaden's theme? Is it superheroes or something? Because his superheroes are monsters. I guess it's Japanese superheroes, but they're not really like they don't really seem like superheroes to me.
They're like Tokugatsu Sentai kind of thing.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It just didn't really catch me yet. I would say it didn't catch me yet. Prowler is kind of funny. He was like, oh, sorry, I just got here. Sorry, did you just call me sir? That's one of the first thing he says, I think. He's like, did you call me sir? Oh, sorry, I just got here. Ma'am. No, it's not ma'am either. It's doctor. Oh, man, you got a doctorate in dualology? Holy crap, man. The doctorate in dual monsters.
Well, you heard someone recently got a doctorate in fucking Forgotten Realms like a little bit ago.
What?
Have you heard
Get
about
a doctorate in that?
Yeah, they have a college degree in understanding the fiction of Forgotten Realms, and I could not imagine a bigger waste of time. Like,
how? How does that even real? Like, if anything, if you get a doctorate for understanding a fictional world, I would think it'd be like Tolkien or something like that. The world of Lord of the Rings, not Forgotten Realms. That's retarded.
It is.
Forgotten Realms. What, man? I guess like what you just want to call yourself a doctor in company, but hope no one asks what do you have a doctorate in.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That is horrible. Like imagine paying thousands of dollars to get a doctorate in Forgotten Realms.
Right,
man.
It's like, how embarrassing.
That is pretty embarrassing. I mean, is this like you couldn't get a real doctorate? What's going on? Let's see. It gets better around season 2. All right, I give it leeway. Okay, I know it needs leeway because it's the first few episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't find Jaden that annoying, which is a good sign. The setup is fine because even though Jaden is like really arrogant and everything, and he kind of wins every duel, it kind of makes sense because the rest of the world around him is so arrogant. It's so full of itself. Everyone around him is so arrogant, and you kind of that's kind of how you want to make a character like this. It's kind of what worked for Yugi.
Mm-hmm.
Why it was cool watching him win every battle is because his first opponent is Kaiba. And that kind of set the precedent of the show because every single opponent that Yugi faces is arrogant and or a cheater and like just a horrible person or something like that. And so it's fun to watch him beat these guys. So despite the fact that he wins every duel, it does not get boring. Same thing with Jaden. Like the whole world around him is very arrogant. So it's fun to watch him beat all these guys and wipe those smug faces off their face. The smug smiles, I should say. But so they have the formula right. They got the formula right. Everyone around Jaden is like an asshole and an arrogant. Even when he duels Alexis, it's under the guise of like, if we caught Cyrus trying to sneak into the girls' dorms, and so if you don't, and now we lured you here with that whole deal, and so if you guys want to stay in school and not get expelled for trespassing, then you have to beat me in this duel. And then he does. So even then, it's like Jaden fighting for something greater, not just because he's arrogant. And then the next big duel, I think, is Chaz. He has to fight Chaz after Crowler kind of steals all the rare cards and then gives him the Chaz. And Chaz is like the most arrogant asshole in the entire school. And then he gets a boost by Crowler and everything. And yeah, Jaden is like plucky and super confident and everything, and he wins every duel. But what makes it so good is that you kind of want to see Chaz taken down a peg. So they have every single instance in the first season, they have the so far first 10 episodes or so. It's set up really well. It's set up really well where you kind of want to root for Jaden despite him, being confident and winning every duel. And he does get hit with like some snags and some obstacles, so it's not just like he wins confidently and easily. And then he's like, oh man, that sucks. He has these reactions and things that kind of tell you that it's like he's bothered by this or he was taken by the surprise. But still, it doesn't really match up yet to how cool the duels got in Yu-Gi-Oh, the original one.
Mm-hmm.
So it is interesting. Let's see. I think it was the Fighter Spread says Anime Acumen. Thank you much. So we had it so good. We used to be colorblind boomers. Could live on a single income and paid cents on the gallon. Now 50-year mortgages and is a cosmic. Yeah, that's true. The 50-year mortgage.
Yeah.
Let's see. Thanks, 50-year mortgage. Thanks, boomers. Lady Fatson says, here, I'll nominate 2 anime, thankfully undiscovered by mainstream right now, and Ascendance of the Bookworm and Witch Hat Atelier. I have heard of Witch Hat because Twitter was celebrating its diversity. That's how I know about it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I mean, I can't believe it. They have a diversity. Woke wins. That's kind of basically the summarization of how what they were talking about. That's how I learned about Witch Hat Atelier, and Crunchyroll has been pushing it on me. I was like, I don't really want to watch this show after that. But Ascendance of the Bookworm I heard was really, 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 really good. Let's see. Alexander 3 Cheers is on Index Anime. Getting disguise is pointless since everything is being recorded. But Misaka so tries with her frog mask she got from Carnival. Everyone already knew it was her. Yeah, just I think I remember the episode. I think I remember the episode where she bought it. Let's see. Yeah, Alexis like loves Jaden like from the almost very first episode because he's a badass. It's just objectively speaking, if you're just a newbie who walks in and beats Crowler, like he beats a guy who got a doctorate. Man, imagine Stu getting a doctorate in Duel Monsters and losing to some newbie kid. Oh man, that sucks. I just realized that. But like first day, his entrance exam is I beat Crowler, like a doctor in the field. And then
we're not letting that one go anytime soon, huh?
No, it's crazy. And then I was like, well, he beat Crowler, and that's kind of what everyone talks about. Like, wow, this kid beat Crowler. And then he beats, I think he beats Alexis, and then he beats Chaz. And then he gets promoted to Raw Yellow and then rejects it. It's like, nah, I'm staying Cypher Red because my friends are there. Like, what a complete bad. And then, of course, Jaden saves Alexis during the Shadow Duel episode.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, yeah, she likes him a lot. Let's see. Jordi Bigot, I think Tears is old school shonen anime have to use real strategies with what little they have to win. New shonen anime, they just get the super god power that's superior than all of the gods' powers, including the power you got from the gods. That is true, yeah. The new ones is like, yeah, your god power is not as cool as my main character power, bro. You suck. It looks like a good anime. I just felt for a while that if I watched it, Twitter won. And see, Lady Faisal says, Witch Hat Atelier is beautiful. So, of course, look, I like witches. All right. I think that's pretty clear. My grandma was one. She was a bruja. Yeah. A lot of our grandmas are brujas. But she wasn't like a demon summoning, but she basically had a garden and made images like that.
No, it's just interesting. Okay, genuine question. This is not me trying to be insulting. So like, how does it's my understanding your family is like Catholic? Okay. So how does
so is my grandma.
So how does that work?
Well, it's not seen as like an anti-religion thing. It's more like this is a traditional practice that like bruja is not like I hate Catholicism. Like you can be a Catholic and be a bruja. It's just being a bruja just means you basically it just means you grow a garden, which she did a lot, and she did that every day. And you make things from it. Like she would make some aloe vera mix for burns and everything. And then she would also do the egg thing, which is from brujas. It's like a traditional from brujas. Everyone like learned that from a grandmother. I will, basically it was to break a curse. That's kind of what the egg thing is. You get the evil eye on you. Someone cursed you. They would do the egg thing on you. So she would do that. She did that to me a few times, and my sister.
Wait, so your grandma cursed you or cured a curse?
She would cure us of the curse.
Okay. Sorry, I we are in brand new territory. I don't even have context for what you're saying, so I'm fascinated.
But here's the thing, Stu. She would mutter something while she cured the curse, and I asked her like one day, like, what are you muttering? And she was like, oh, it's the Apostles' Creed. I just say it 3 times.
Oh,
So she was reciting Catholic prayers while she broke the curse.
interesting. Okay, yeah, no, it's just really cool because it's my understanding that like that's like witchcraft and that's not really allowed. So like that's
You would think they'd be opposite, but they're not.
Hmm.
That's why I have a different view on witches than some other people do.
well, I'm kind of like I'm a hard skeptic in pretty much everything. Like anytime someone mentions mysticism or magic, I'm more curious than I am like I don't know, believing what I'm trying to say.
Right.
But
Agnostic.
like, yeah. So whenever someone like combines Christianity and like that kind in like magic, basically, like I want to know like what is your logic? Where did you get that? How did that come about? You know, that kind of stuff. That's cool to me.
Yeah. If you read if you read like some books, one of them books that are from Hispanic authors, like House of Mango Street and Bless Me Ultima, like they'll talk about their grandmas being brujas and stuff. And like some of them get bad rap because they get bad rap even in Mexico sometimes. But I mean, it's like the good version of this, which like she just grew a garden, she made home remedies, things like that. She would do like little egg thing, stuff like that, Let's see. Completely ignoring the story. So which out here is beautiful. Of course, the weirdos try to claim it. Of course, they do. Completely ignoring the story. They always try to claim weird things like this. Oh, it has a black person in it. That means it's woke. Like, no, that does not mean it's woke.
That means Stuart wanted to see a hot black woman.
They think that any movie with like at least one person that's not a white guy, straight white guy. Oh, it's woke. It's woke. It's woke. That's not what woke means. If it was if that black character is in there because of like some sort of corporate mandate, like we got to have this for diversity reasons, that's a woke reason to have the character added in there. But if it's just like part of the story, like if I'm watching like a new Friday movie or a new Bad Boys movie, like of course the main characters are black, so that doesn't make it woke. They're supposed to be like, they're supposed to be 2 black characters fighting bad guys. It's awesome. I've seen almost every Bad Boys movie because they're cool. I like the Bad Boys movies. Let's see, world building characters and world mechanics. I'll check it out. And see, did Japan ban Crunchyroll? I didn't know that.
I heard about that. It's a licensing thing, so I've been told, but also Japan is sick of Crunchyroll's bullshit of them just completely like what am I trying to say? Vandalizing their culture.
That makes sense. I would be too. Heck, I'm sick of it.
Not even my culture. Yeah, I'm sick of it.
Yeah, it's not my culture. I'm sick of it. Let's see. Normal Mantis Fighter Twitch says, is there a doctor on the plane? D&D doctor. No. Oh, I can't believe a guy did that. What is your doctorate in? Dungeons and Dragons?
Like, oh god, it's not even like the history of the mechanics, the interesting stuff. No, you're in Forgotten Realms, the most
Forgotten Realms.
Like, not even something cool like Greyhawk or oh god, or even Pathfinder. No, you got a doctorate in the most corporate fucking fantasy setting ever. The one that's been raped to death because they wanted to sell, editions. 4th edition was so fucking retarded because the way they justified all the game mechanic changes is that a meteor struck Faerun and all these things started happening.
Just a meteor. I think that's how like they explained Dragonborn or something too, I think. In one of them. But yeah. Now I could understand if they got a doctorate in like game design. I could say that a little bit better. Not like how to make games or doctorate in gaming history, maybe. Like that I could see maybe being a little bit better, but just a doctorate in Forgotten Realms, that seems pretty insane to me.
Yeah.
I'm a doctor of Forgotten Realms. Is there a doctor in the house? I'm a doctor. Okay, what doctor are you? I can imagine like he's stepping in to try to save the guy's life. Like that's not how you do it. That's completely wrong. What kind of doctor are you? I'm a doctor of D&D. Like the game. And then D&D doctor gets an instant skydiving lesson. Let's see. Call of Duty Extra 2 says King Solomon knew magic given to him by God. Yeah, he was a
but
cleric.
Solomon's one of those people, and I don't like anything those people do. I don't believe them.
Look, he was not a witch, he was a cleric.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, chat. All right, here we go. There we go. Get this all set and updated. Fantastic. We are now at 520 out of 500. Thank you much, everyone. Appreciate it. Very generous indeed. All right. Taylor Chris says Dragonborn are kind of weird. They basically are from a different planet. Or yeah, that's what I heard, like from a different planet or like a different world or timeline or dimension or something like that. And get you into the Forgotten Realm. I was just like, why do all that? Just make him like, okay, people like Dragonborn are people whose bloodline traces back to a dragon, or one of the ancestors, slept with a dragon.
Well, in the latest book, the latest D&D book, the way they explain like how Dragonborn got there, it's like some people say they came from another dimension. Some people say they came from a new planet. Some people say they were always here. They're all correct. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Don't you do that. Don't you just
like, whatever you want to be.
You fucking pussy. You absolute buffoon of a writer. Like, how dare you not give any actual answer? And you just said, oh, we'll let the readers decide.
We'll let the players decide. But I think it'd be way easier if we just said, like, they kind of came about the same way as tieflings, where a tiefling is the result of someone in their history, their family's history, making a deal with a demon or a devil. Mm-hmm. And then they, somewhere down the line, they were born with, whatever, a tiefling with an affinity for whatever devil they made a contract with down the line. Mm-hmm. And so it's not really their fault. It's kind of like they're the result and curse of an ancestor of theirs making a deal with the devil. So what if like a Dragonborn is the result of one of their ancestors sleeping with a dragon? It just makes sense. It's just in their bloodline.
Pathfinder had the Thieflings. Yes, that was from Wrath of the Righteous, and they were great. That was Wolfrig. Wolfrig was awesome. But also a Dragonborn came from another planet.
Wait a minute. How does Pathfinder have tieflings? Weren't they invented by like the Forgotten Realms guy?
So okay, legally speaking, it's a gray area. No one's wanted to challenge it because no one wants like an actual like ruling on this. But essentially, at the time when Pathfinder was being made, it was just a homebrew world written by one of the D&D guys. And right. Yeah, so at the time, they were all working through the OGL, and you could actually buy like Pathfinder like adventure paths written for D&D like 3.5 edition. It's just there was a point where all those guys who were writing the Pathfinder adventure modules broke away from Wizards of the Coast, and they founded Paizo because Wizards of the Coast wanted to move on to 4th edition, and they got really draconian with how the rights worked. So yeah. before they left, the Paizo guys helped write the OGL, the Open Gaming License, so that everyone could create stuff within D&D's rule mechanics while still being legally distinctly theirs. When 4th edition came out, it was very, very like anti third party. They wanted you to buy D&D, and they didn't want you to buy, they didn't want to create another competitor. So right. They made 4th editions like both wildly different so that they could appeal to the World of Warcraft players, but they also really, really wanted to appeal to legally speaking, they didn't want anyone taking their slice of the pie.
Right.
So like
I was like, how they do that? I didn't know that the guys from Paizo were former guys who worked on Forgotten Realms. I mean, I guess it's going to make sense. That would make it legally gray. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not only that too. They when it was written into the OGL, like a whole bunch of things were made like legal TM. You know what I mean? It was like vaguely legal to use all that stuff. You couldn't reference any like you couldn't say Strahd, but you could say the vampire from that one demi-plane. You know what I mean? Like you could kind
Right.
of reference it, but you couldn't.
Right. Because you know that the Pathfinder still like it uses a lot. It
It
uses quite a
does.
bit from Dungeons and Dragons. Let's see your chat. Look was I'm playing Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, but I don't think Kingmaker is worth it. I think
Listen,
Kingmaker is like the first outing, and
Yeah.
Wrath of the Righteous is a good one.
The only reason why Kingmaker is good is that you can marry twins.
It was kind of fun just doing all the other stuff. It's like, you know, finding the Stag Lord, but after that kind of drags.
It really does. That's why we stopped our Kingmaker campaign after you killed the Stag
we killed
Lord.
the Stag Lord and boom, we're done.
Like you guys won. Good job.
SEAL Team 6 in there. We're done playing that by that time. We're done playing. We're done thinking this is 5e. We're done thinking that this is 5e Dungeons and Dragons, and we were especially initiated into the harsh, brutal world of Pathfinder 2. Like once you get owned by a pig, it changes a man. Let's see. Video Nisha says, thanks 10 cheers. The greatest D&D campaign ever practiced, participated in was a 4e adventure in Sigil. Too long to explain here, but it was a level 21 to 30 epic where we were planeswalkers. Very cool. That became gods by its end, following a purge of the gods between the crusade of the forces of good, trying to purify the cosmos. Still love it to this day. That does sound pretty epic.
Planescape was pretty cool. Yeah.
Let's see. I was going to try Space Jammer. I think it's pretty fun.
Oh, Spelljammer?
Yeah, Spelljammer.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about the movie Space Jam. I believe I can fly. Let's see. Alexia, there's a 50 cheers. His fate ghost story happens because Solomon won the Holy Grail and wished for a free will because he could only help people with God permission. But he loses powers, and those 72 demons he controlled also got freedom. Well, that's unfortunate. And they decided to use time travel as a way to replace God before he exists. Man, that's tough. Talk about mistakes, Solomon. Mistake. Big mistake, Solomon. Bad, Solomon. Bad. Anyway.
Come on, brighten up, have some fun. You've been moping around a lot lately.
I remember the last time that I had fun. And then the accident.
The accident.
Hey, no flashbacks. You had a
Yeah, no flashbacks.
semi-traumatic experience like 16 years ago. Just think about something else for even a few minutes.
Life is difficult for us, living with this weight on our shoulders.
You can fly.
Exactly.
Oh, brooding. Oh, this is so difficult. I have so much weight on myself. You can fly. Shut up.
What does he have to complain about? He's adored, looked up to for inspiration. Me? Nobody understands my curse.
You spontaneously generate balloons.
How long until I hurt someone?
This is pretty much millennials writing superheroes.
It amazes me that you can even find negatives with this.
So many children in need of party favors, yet
You can never. You know how the thing is that you likes to about Digital Circus, where kind of you appreciate what you have.
Mhm.
The same thing goes here. Like appreciate what you got right. And millennials, when millennials write, they can't seem to do that. Like I saved 4 million people, but I didn't save 4,000,001. I'm a failure, and I should be blamed for that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can never celebrate anything. It's kind of why I got so tired of Invincible after season 1, where it's like Mark tries and tries and tries to do the right thing. He gets his face beaten in because they never allow him to win, and then he doesn't get any thanks. He just gets a bunch of blame and run through the mud. He doesn't really get any praise or anything positive, really. And in exchange for being a hero, like not really at all. So I was just tired of that. Like, how about you go and look at what he did do, and praise him for that? Like the whole Spider-Man thing, where it's like he just blames himself for everything and it's constant misery. Like I think a lot of fans are tired of that.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are tired of that mentality. Which is why why I like ReZero, because like Subaru will suffer, he'll get killed over and over and over again, but people start to like him quite a bit. People start to respect him. There's like, oh yeah, he's a weak buffoon, but he's awesome. Like he wins the respect from these nobles who are very arrogant, but they kind of come down to his level and go, you know what? Well done, Subaru. You're like you might be the weakest among us, but you're also the bravest among us. and like he wins over Amelia, he wins over Rem, famously. He wins over Beatrice, even
Famously, yes.
famously. He wins over Beatrice. I think he wins over the Lord, who dresses up as a clown. He wins over Garfield. Even like he beat Garfield because of a new power he got. But Garfield was like he respects Subaru because not only did he lose him in a fight, but also he broke through like this wall of emotion that Garfield was carrying. And so Garfield went from wanting to kill Subaru to calling him boss. It was pretty cool. So like he suffers a lot, but he also is rewarded when he succeeds and everything, which I like. But in the West, a lot of millennials were like, "Oh no, he failed. He didn't get 100% correct, so he fails." That's a pretty harsh metric to grade someone by.
Yeah,
very harsh metric. I think even like the Naruto exams were easier than this.
Been in an argument with my disciple lately because I was telling I think I brought this up like the other day where she's like, I want you to fit. Can you? I don't remember what I said, but I said something like, hey, is there anything I can do for you right now? I got like a minute. And she's like, can you fix my life? And I'm like, bitch,
I said a minute. All right.
Yeah. First of all, your life is pretty fucking great. Like, your life is actually pretty awesome. You are not in a dangerous situation. Like all this stuff is going well for you. Like you've got 2 jobs that you really, really like. And on top of that too, you got like 5 people constantly looking out for you. Just shut up. Like, I'm so tired of that.
Let's see. Can you fix my life, Stu? I'll have some time after I order some Grubhub, some pre-prepared food that's delivered right to my doorstep, and it's sitting in my air-conditioned room.
Yeah, right.
With a sturdy roof over my head and stuff like that, and running water and electricity. Let's see. Fatal Crest says, I don't know, LD. I almost got murdered by a 2-head viper monster. It only made me like the game more, seeing my friends scramble. I mean, I like the game, but what I'm talking about is we went into Pathfinder 2 with a different mindset. All right. We had just gotten done playing Strixhaven, which was the coddled 5th edition D&D. Like, it's very easy. There's a lot of opportunities. It's very simple, and it basically just coddles you compared to Pathfinder 2. And so we're like, oh yeah, Pathfinder 2. I think even Stu was surprised.
Yeah.
Right. Like, oh, yeah, because we went to that like Iron Tusk or whatever thing. We're like, okay, it's elite enemy. It's probably gonna be a little tougher than the rest so far. Okay, not too bad. And then we go in there and like, well, we'll let this NPC take it because it's her quest line. And if she gets in trouble, we'll rush in. And then turn 1 immediately gets stomped to the ground. She just gets annihilated by this pig. And they're like, oh crap, let's go in there. And then this pig just proceeds to just take us down like John Wick. Just trying to stay alive so we can run away. And then we're like, okay, we're not fucking around anymore. Obviously it's not 5e. And so we put together this multi-layered plan to take out this pig. And we did. We overkilled this pig. Stu was like, yeah, he's taking all these hits, he's not moving. And we just kept throwing shit at him. We kept throwing like fireballs and magic missiles and like arrows and hacking him. And it's like he's been dead for like the last 3 days.
Yeah, you guys were not taking that shit anymore. It was crazy.
And then we did the same when we found the Stag Lord. And like, okay, we went in with him pretending to be friendly or wanting to like to talk with him or whatever. Like, okay, it's a good spot. Now, dead. Everyone died in 1 turn. Like, we killed all of his men and him in 1 turn. I think. Or we almost killed him and all of his men in 1 turn. I think there's like a final confrontation between one of the characters and the Stag Lord, but it was pretty much the SEAL Team 6. Everyone dead. So it wasn't that way. I disliked it. It was a different mindset. We had to go into it because 5e is way more coddling than 2 for the 2nd edition Pathfinder is. Alex Halo looks to the 10 cheers is then later Solomon gets his powers and rings back, but the demons are stronger than him. So Solomon stops them by giving his power back to God this time and says he will continue his work through the limitations of humanity. And since the demons were part of his power, the demons start to going back to God as well. Yeah, so that sounds like a very base storyline. Let's see. I mean, excuses. We need to relearn failure, shame, and learning. Yeah, just look. So you know how Slughorn is like an awesome teacher, Stu? You keep saying that.
He is.
So we get to this point where he's the first day of his NEWT potions class, and he's like, okay, here's a really advanced potion recipe. But don't worry, I know it's more advanced than you've ever taken on, so I'm not looking for perfection here. However, I want you all to do your best, and the person who does the best will get this reward. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to like Snape, who's like, if you don't do it feasibly, I'm going to destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
A Slughorn is like, you know what? I know you're all new to this, so do your best, and whoever does his best will get this awesome prize. So that's he gives you incentives. You're right, Stu. Slughorn is pretty good as a teacher.
He's my favorite, and it's not close.
It gives you reward. It gives you like an incentive to do your best, as opposed to fear. Like, do your best, or you're going to get punished. Like, okay, do your best, and everyone try to get this reward that everyone wants. It's pretty good. Like, he's a pretty good teacher. I like Slughorn. He's a pretty fascinating character. He's like a good teacher. Then you have like these other things where he's the head of Slytherin house. He's kind of sleazy because he wants to mingle with people who are important. We can't really fault him for, but it still comes off as kind of sleazy. Like, I just want to mingle with all the students who have like cool connections, like a pretty mom and stuff. Because one of the students he brought to his like cabin, or brought to his like the car on the train, was like, okay, you have a pretty mom who has had like 6 husbands who all died in mysterious circumstances. Interesting. Odd.
Is this related? Nah, could be.
Probably. That's a coincidence. Why is it a coincidence? It's anybody accurate in the two superchats that we need to relearn failure, shame, and learning. Really do. And so why I bring up Slughorn is because he's not expecting perfection. He's expecting you to be human and you're probably gonna do the best thing ever, first go around. So, and it wasn't like you have to reach a certain measure to get this luck potion. It's like whoever did the best will get it. So everyone's incentivized, and he's not expecting perfection or even close to it. So I think that's the kind of grade we should give superheroes. Like, okay, we're not expecting perfection, but doing your best, trying just the effort, trying to defend people, trying to save lives, save the world. That's kind of enough. Just going out there. It's going out there. All right, let's see.
I cannot help them all.
If I even try to rescue someone, I'm afraid that the sheer G-force of my flight will liquefy their organs.
Stop trying to do that. Your powers are scientifically impossible. Stop trying to make them make sense. You only look more wrong later.
Yeah, exactly. Let's have fun with the powers. Stop trying to make them scientifically plausible. Just to have fun with them. They're fun. It's supposed to be superheroes. It's supposed to be fun genre. All right, getting into wacky situations.
For information, I have the ability to manipulate gravitons, and it all makes perfect sense if you're intimately familiar with quantum field theory, and also not too picky about it.
My hands fell into a vat of radioactive liquid helium.
That's why you can make balloons.
What?
Think you understand my pain?
It's the burden of an anomaly like ourselves. We endure the pain so that the true heroes never have to.
You're not anomalies or mutants or gifted. You're superheroes.
Oh, see, that's the same thing, right? This is what Subaru goes through. We endure the pain so the real heroes don't have to. Well, the real heroes never asked you to do that, and you're doing that for your own reasons so you can feel special, which is like what Subaru goes through. Which is like, I'm going to take the pain so no one else has to, even though I was never asked to do this or never swore to do this, because he thinks it's for everyone else, but really it's so that he can feel good. Because in his real life, he didn't really have too many things special going on, which is what we encounter during the witch trials. Like he goes through the witch trial and he confronts his past and everything. They find out that he was kind of a burnout, didn't really go to school very much, and had nothing going on. Basically a NEET. He was a NEET, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
He basically just slept all day, essentially. And that's it. So in his real life, he really had nothing going on, but here he can be special. Here he can have power and influence or importance. It's kind of what he mainly wants, important.
And he can marry this super hot elf waifu,
Yeah, definitely. Now he has incentives. But instead of a luck potion, it's a half elf.
As you get, bro, like that's a good incentive.
It's a pretty good incentive.
I'd be a superhero for a half elf hottie. I'm gonna be real with you. Like I'd work really, really hard for that.
Yeah, so it makes him relatable.
Exactly.
So, but like, yeah, he goes to this new world. He can start. He can start again. He can do all the things he could never do in the regular world. So, yeah, he steps into it. He tries to do his best, and he feels as if there's like an invisible tally going on, like in his mind, though. Like, I did all this stuff. You owe me more than you could ever repay, and everything. And he's like, well, no one has seen this. Like, no one knows what you've done, Subaru. Emilia goes like, oh, man, the version of me you think that I am must be so awesome. She could understand you and comfort you, even though you refuse to tell her anything. Like, she just intuitively knows how much pain you're going through, because you can't really tell anybody.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like,
it's cursed every time he tries, right?
Yeah, like his heart gets gripped or something.
Yeah, no, I remember he weaponized that at one point. That was like really smart.
Whoever does it gets a priest, I think, or the archbishop or whatever it is.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty smart thinking.
So it's on season 4, right? And is it on Crunchyroll? Is that what you said it was?
Yeah, it's on Crunchyroll.
Okay. I think I still have a Crunchyroll. I'll watch it with Alex soon. We need a new anime to watch again, and honestly, us going through ReZero again is probably going to be good.
Especially because they just released new episodes, and it's pretty good so far. Let's see. But yeah, so the whole thing is like, oh, I take the pain so other people don't have to. It's like that is, in one way, that is selfish if you do it like Subaru does. Right? If you do like this, I expect something in return. Like, that's what makes the superhero so noble, because Subaru is doing this so Amelia will like him. Mm-hmm. That's his ultimate goal. Whereas Batman and Superman, who are mature heroes, like, I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do, as opposed to Subaru, who's like, I want to do this so that Amelia will like me.
What is upsetting for him too is because Amelia does want to like him too.
A lot. She's really trying.
She's like giving him her best. It's just she's busy, yo. Like, she's
trying to compete for the kingdom and stuff.
Yeah, she's kind of busy, bro. Listen, she's willing to do this. You just got to calm the fuck down. Also, maybe give her some actual communication. Tell her that, like, hey, I'm willing. I'm going to do all these things for you, but I kind of want you to be my girlfriend in exchange. She'd probably be like, all right,
that sounds good.
Yeah, like, okay, I got nothing else. Like, who else is there?
Because Amelia spent her whole life being hated by everybody, so it's not like she's like, oh yeah, I have like a line of people wanting to marry me. It's like everyone hates her, but she wants to rule the kingdom anyway.
And she thinks I think she likes him enough for sure. Like, okay.
Yeah, she does. That's why. So she gets so frustrated with him. Because like, he likes her a little too much sometimes. Like, she's like, I want you to criticize me. Like, stop saying I'm good and stop saying I'm perfect. All right, just lay it out on the line and criticize. Like, she wants to be criticized because she needs to know what she's doing wrong and how to improve herself. Let's see. Let's see here. Lady Fast says, Stu, watch I recommend Observation Long, Ascendance, and Witch Hat. All good stories and are great. I intend to watch Observation Long pretty soon. That's right up my alley.
You're superheroes. Go wear some brightly colored spandex.
Yeah, exactly.
Give yourselves catchy, obvious names and yell puns at criminals. Just smile once in a while.
Yeah, yell puns. We need more puns. Like, you've been disarmed, something like that. Fiona says, think 10 cheers talking to a woman? What nonsense is this?
People expect it from you. They would prefer it. In fact, dressing like an American flag and punching somebody wearing a ski mask is way cooler than this angsty brooding. It's getting really hard to brag about you guys being my roommates.
I suppose I can design a new uniform.
Costume.
No uniform. Costume.
That would be great. You should definitely do that.
I have an excellent trench coat.
No
trench coats. Nothing off the rack from Walmart.
Coats or leather or normal person clothes.
Yeah, exactly. Listen to this man. He knows what he's talking about. Stop having everyone wear normal person clothes as a superhero.
Or dirt. Anywhere. And
or dirt. Stop wearing dirt. This is what I love every time you can. I see someone play Skyrim. It's like, because in Skyrim you can put dirt on your character. I think it's Skyrim. Yeah, I think so. I think it's Skyrim.
I was like, maybe I'm. It's been a long time since I played Skyrim, so maybe I'm wrong.
It's either Skyrim or Dragon Age, where you can just put dirt on your character.
That might be Dragon Age, because I remember after the fights in Dragon Age, you just walk around and you're just like so fucking bloody.
Yeah, just full of crap. It was like just covered in all this gore. Which made an issue in Baldur's Gate 3, where like you have to clean yourself up sometimes, I think, to interact with people properly.
I remember maybe I'm misremembering that.
Let's see. At least it used to be. I think they might have taken it out. 'Cause I remember I've watched some videos where like, okay, if you're covered in blood, just throw a bottle of water on your crew, and you can stop freaking people out.
Oh yeah, that okay. So I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And see, Ben Burger says, Litdev or Stu, stop me if you've heard this one before. How do you know when a joke has matured into a dad joke? When it's full grown and become apparent?
Don't tell me that you have some carbon fiber armor that's both lightweight and impenetrable that the military somehow doesn't know about. Just get
yeah, the military doesn't know about it because the Continental does, right?
something brightly colored and put an emblem on the front of it so that people can identify you as awesome man.
This only looks like an A. This is the symbol of my people.
Yeah. It's in my world, it means hope or something.
Okay, well here it's an A, so either own it or change it.
I'm a monster.
It's covered in balloons. Well, there you go. That's how it's like the railing against the millennial superhero thing. Let's see here. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do this then. Let's talk about this video. It's going over ReZero. It's kind of an old one, but pretty good one because it's about the message of ReZero and ReZero being about loving yourself, which is pretty much a thing that a lot of characters run into in this story. To accept yourself.
About ReZero.
This is kind of like 5 years ago kind of video, so it's going to have like the tropes from 5 years ago. Not ReZero, but I mean the video itself.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like anime reviewer tropes, not necessarily like anime tropes.
Exactly.
Like the YouTuber whose evil altered ego shows up. It's like, oh yeah, let's go.
Exactly. I think that the ReZero is terrible, and then Stu, we hear a glass break, and then I turn and Stu, how'd you break into my house?
Unironic. So I never did that, but once in a while I would argue with Fat Stewart.
With Fat Stewart.
Yeah, I never had evil Stewart, but I did have Fat Stewart show up once in a while, and I always argued with him about stuff.
What about what was the other one where it's like I hate this thing, and then it shows up as a floating monster or something like that. Like I hate this movie, and the movie shows up as a antagonist or something like that. You know, the nostalgia critic stuff. Let's see. But that was an era. That definitely was an era.
Watching ReZero Season 2 has made me realize something very important. That your experiences with media and storytelling can change over time. That no matter how set in stone you thought your opinions were before, it's possible to see something in a different light that elevates it more than the sum of its parts. If you told me a few years ago that ReZero would be one of my favorite anime in modern times, I would have laughed. But yet, here I am making this video.
Every woman in this series is very feminine and are just ready to console a crying man, which I think is something you would never get in the West. They never judge him or anything. Just kind of just console him. They console this emotionally broken person who's gone through a lot without any question. It's like, okay, I just know that you're hurt and need comforting. And that's it. And like every woman in this story is like that in some way or another.
Because I genuinely believe that ReZero has become something truly special that the anime community has yet to truly appreciate. At its surface, ReZero presents itself as a very conventional isekai, with the main character Natsuki Subaru having a unique ability that allows him to reset the world every time he dies. And just from this premise alone, the series plants an inherent idea towards the viewer about what the story is going to be about. Many people, including my past self, had this expectation that the overall narrative would revolve around Subaru and how he had to overcome conflicts within the story using his new ability. Maybe he would have to outsmart his opponents or manipulate the people around him using his superior knowledge. In essence, the majority of people expected
That was crazy. This part was crazy because he's like, okay, I'm going to take this bomb out of your carriage, Amelia, and I'm going to run over here, and hopefully it doesn't kill everyone. And it's like, who planted this nuke inside Amelia's carriage? Like, do you really need a nuke to kill her? I guess they thought they did.
majority of people
This thing has like a mushroom cloud and everything. Just like annihilated like a wide area around it, like the crater.
expected and viewed ReZero as a plot-driven story where its primary focus was on the action and a well-constructed narrative. You don't have to look very far for people criticizing.
Look, it's that one scene. Let's see. Enemy acquisition fighter says, what's that? Women in anime respect their nature? Yeah. And also people love ReZero. I don't think it's a coincidence.
The show's narrative or internal logic. Comments like these can be found abundantly online in any discussion of the series. However, this is where I think there seems to be a fundamental misunderstanding about what ReZero is actually about. And from my personal experience of the show, I think I can provide context of why that is and show how ReZero has become a
Remember that video we watched too, where that guy is complaining about video essays? He's like, I know why I hate about these people who say that I don't understand this. or have the video title be like, you misunderstood XYZ. That's what it reminded me of. Like, people don't understand the true meaning of ReZero. That's kind of reminded me of instantly.
Yeah.
truly profound story of self-discovery. Back in 2016, when I initially watched the first season, I made a video titled The Problems with ReZero, in which I voiced my opinions and criticism of the show in numerous aspects, both what I thought was good and not so good. To give a quick summary of my thoughts back then, my main problems with the show were that there were essentially no stakes in the story because Subaru could just reset the world to get a timeline where everything just went his way. At other times, the show just felt like it was torturing Subaru just for the sake of suffering.
They do have some mistakes in terms like he doesn't get to choose where his save point is.
Yeah.
So at one point he's like, "What? You saved my life? Why'd you save? You should have let me die. What if the save point is like here now in this tragic era, or this tragic future?" I forgot when that happens, but like someone saves his life. I think it was Beatrice. I think Beatrice saved his life because of the attack on the mansion, and everyone's dead already, and he's like the only survivor except for Beatrice. And then he's like, "Why'd you save my life? Just let me die." And because what if it's changed now? Like, what if the save point is here now, and everyone who's dead will stay dead? That was his fear. It didn't turn out that way, but that is a thing that he has to worry about. What if the save point is already like too late and people are just dead now? Like that would happen with Rem. Like Rem is forgotten, and so I think he dies once, and then it turns out that it's too late. He goes back to him asking Amelia or telling Amelia about Rem's confession to him, and then Amelia goes, "Who's Rem?" That's it. You can't go back anymore. You could die that moment. It'll just come back to a few seconds ago. So Rem is permanently forgotten about, and they have to kind of fix this whole thing. Let's see.
Each death getting more and more drastic. And finally, Subaru himself was at times borderline insufferable because of
Yeah, I got that. I think everyone encounters this feeling about Subaru at the beginning.
the way he acted towards Amelia and how much he made a fool of himself. With all these aspects compounded against each other, it was difficult to see just where the heart of the series lied. I don't hold the same opinions of the show as I did back then. Looking back now with hindsight, I don't blame myself, or anyone for that matter, to hold opinions similar to the ones I once held a few years ago. I still think that the
ReZero is one of those shows where you kind of really need to let it sink in because it does take its time with the proper development. So yeah, you will be probably put off by Subaru or find him insufferable, but after a while you're like, okay, well, this guy's a lot better than I thought, because he does go through character development and people do call him on his crap.
those criticisms are still valid for anyone who still holds them, but to only view that interpretation as the only correct one is dead wrong and intellectually dishonest. ReZero was never a plot-driven story, no matter how much it disguised itself as one. It was, and always has been, a personal character study. Once you view the series through this lens, it becomes clear what the overarching messages and themes of the story are. It was never about how Subaru would have to overcome the villains he faced and win over the girl he loved. It was in fact about how Subaru learned to become a better person. ReZero is a character study about self-discovery, and this is where I think many people fail to see or misunderstand what the point of the series is. So today, I want to bring to light the true underlying ethos of ReZero and show you just how profoundly special this story really is. Spoilers for...
Speaking of being cursed, Subaru, I remember there's a moment where Subaru actually tells Emilia that he can return by death, and Emilia dies. It's like, whoa! It's like, oh no. How unfortunate. Yeah, Emilia just dies. He's like carrying her body around, just trying to do something that could help, but it's no use. I think he gets killed by Puck in that one. Because Emilia's just dead now. Mm-hmm. But then so the same issue comes up when he tries to tell the Witch of Greed like what happened. And it's like, okay, I come back, but I return by death, and then nothing happens. Like she's fine. And so it's like, okay, well, she's like, probably because she's a witch, or probably because she's already dead. She's just like a ghost. Insane.
Season 2. The inciting incident to this season is having Rem erased from everyone's memories except for Subaru.
And then in the latest episode, he chokes Rom to death.
Jeez.
Which is pretty, like, how did you do that? That's pretty impressive. Because it turns out that where they are, there are areas of that area where there's a miasma going on, and it does mess with your mind. And so it kind of ramped up everyone's aggressions to the point where he just almost chokes Rom to death, and then the other girl they're with kills Rom because she finds Rom less important than Subaru. And she's like, I can't stop you two from fighting, but I will kill one of you to stop the fighting. I picked the one I'll leave alive will be the most useful.
And try as he might, no matter how many times he returns by death, he's never able to save the girl who saw him as her hero. This makes Subaru blame himself for what happened as he carries the weight of one of his most precious friends. Subaru has never been more alone than in this instance. The person who had previously saved him from himself is now gone. And despite having the power to change the world, Subaru can do nothing. He believes that all of this is his fault and shoulders the burden by himself. But Emilia reminds Subaru that he's not alone, and that you shouldn't be forced to carry the weight of responsibility by yourself. You have other people who care about your well-being, and in return will share your lowest moments.
これだけはちゃんと知っておいて。レムのこと、一人で抱え込んで悩もうとしないで。私もちゃんとスバルの悩み抱えさせて。スバルが助けてくれたみたいに。
She wants to help out, but Subaru just won't let her because he has that severe white knight syndrome where it's kind of like, I'm going to protect you from all damage, from all responsibilities, from all burdens. When really it's about, I'm going to protect your life, but as an adult, you have burdens to carry too. Like you have some duties to carry out. You know, you're here. You have responsibilities as well. But the White Knight should be protecting her from danger, not from responsibility. Right? That's kind of like the immature, like the not yet fully realized White Knight young man. Because the idea is, I'm going to keep you in my. And basically, what he's doing, the young man who has this White Knight syndrome, which is a good start, wants to basically take the princess and put her in an ivory tower and never let anything happen to her. Never let her out. Just kind of keep her there. Mm-hmm. What the mature guy will do is like you know, I know you have responsibilities. Do what you need to do. I will protect you from danger. That's kind of what the mature idea is. Mm-hmm. That's what Batman does. Superman does. Like Superman does not stop Lois Lane from taking the job of being a journalist, but he does protect her when things come up. So it's like that. Where Subaru is he is the young man, not fully realized White Knight mentality, where I'm going to protect you from everything. You're just going to be in a tower and nothing bad is going to happen to you. And as Dory once said from Finding Nemo, if nothing happens to her, then nothing will happen to her. You know, that sort of thing. And that, basically, that's what makes him selfish.
In a show that throws the audience into a fantasy world.
By the way, it also happens in Faraway Paladin, where he kind of goes insane because he also has this immature White Knight thing going on, where he does acknowledge that he is very, very powerful. And he's like, okay, we had a really horrible drawback fighting this den of monsters. And so some of them died. One of his best friend almost died. He had to step in to save him and everything. And he's like, you know what? He goes kind of insane after that. Like his mind kind of breaks. And because he doesn't want any of them to get hurt or die. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to go back there by myself and I'm going to slay them because I'm strong enough to do so. His best friend had to come in and knock some sense into him and kind of make him realize that, no, you can't do it on your own. You have to have friends to help you. And then he gets knocked back into his senses, and they go fight again with the guys they recruit, a small army. And he realizes that no, if I'd gone by myself, I would have been killed because I might be strong, but I'm not strong enough to take over all of this. So it is that moment where you are a immature man. You have the right idea going on, but your immaturity kind of makes you want to protect everyone from everything. And to take all the burden on yourself, which is something you cannot do.
Yeah.
It's like impossible. You can't do it. So that's your friends and family are there to help you weather that burden. That's kind of what's supposed to happen. So you get this in Faraway Paladin, where he kind of accepts the idea that his friends are going to help him on this journey. And you get this in ReZero, where he accepts the idea that Amelia is there to help carry his burdens. Rem was there to carry his burdens, and even Rom was there, and Beatrice is there. Like he has all these people there ready to help him through this emotional pain. But he has to let them. Right? He has to let them. And that's kind of a big jump where you kind of realize that you can't do all this. Superman suffers from this too, by the way, because of his power. But every story where this kind of pops up in, he learns that I can't do it all. This is why he formed the Justice League, or let the Justice League happen, because he can't do it all. He can't protect the entire world by himself, despite being so powerful. So Justice League, it was a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a thing that everyone has to kind of learn as a young man who wants to do the right thing.
One thing I don't enjoy Jujutsu Kaisen, right? It's not my show. But
I don't even know what it's about.
It's a show. Anyway. It's a show. It's what is really good is that the power levels between the characters vary wildly. Like literally the strongest guy in the world is their teacher. And it's well known he's the strongest guy in the world too. There are people who form organizations just to kill this guy, like Gojo.
That's pretty badass.
Like, yeah, no, and the thing is too, like he's so confident, he's so cool, but he's also like the Professor X. And there's a lot of people in that school who also are both really powerful and others who have like really stupid powers, but everyone is seen as valuable because everyone knows that, okay, yeah, like the more good guys we have, no matter how weak they might be, net positive,
Right.
Like the power scaling is really, really good. And even characters who are perceived as really weak, even within the setting, have a purpose.
That's good. That's the writing kind of want, where everyone. That's why I like Dragon Ball, because everyone has a purpose, and Dragon Ball Z kind of fluctuates, kind of evolves into it's just Goku and just Vegeta and just Piccolo.
Yeah,
and some other characters kind of fall off.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Super really tried to bring them back, and boy, that didn't work.
I know they gave him all these upgrades. Like, okay, here's like by the way, Goku have been training, and he's super buff, and he's like the equivalent of what Golden Frieza or something now. It's like, all right.
Yeah, dude, there was a moment I got so annoyed. There was a moment where Krillin's training for the Tournament of Power, and like like Goku turned Super Saiyan Blue and Krillin pushed him back. And I went, no, stop that.
How'd you fight this? How would you fight a Super Saiyan God, Krillin? I did a lot of push-ups.
Like, absolutely not. Like, Krillin kind of outsmarted him in some places, but no. And there was a point earlier within the arc where a bullet, like Krillin got shot with a gun, and it hurt him. And even Android 18 was like, a gun hurt you? What do you mean a bullet hurt you? What the fuck are you? What happened to you? And like, that was really
I married the
funny.
wrong man.
Like, unironically, she's like, I used to think you were cool, but then a bullet hurt you? Like,
What is this nonsense?
That's not my husband. And I'm like, hell yeah, 18, you lay into him.
Yeah,
No.
like then we had the bullet training where he gets shot and 18 starts shooting him on the regular to get him used to being shot by bullets.
And it's not like a space gun either. It's not like a space 44 Magnum. It was like a gun that a normal guy had. And it's like, how did that hurt you? Guns have not been relevant even at the beginning of Dragon Ball.
The first episode, I think, when the guy shot Goku with a shotgun or whatever, and he's like, Goku's like, that sucked.
Like, fucking Bulma shoots Goku right in the face, and it didn't matter.
I think that was it. Bulma shoots him in the face, and it didn't matter. Like, it did hurt him, but I mean, it didn't. It's like, ouch. That sucked a little bit, but I'm all right. And see. He's like, you're not the man I married. Let's see.
World filled with witches, deadly creatures, and other mysteries. The most cathartic episode doesn't come from any thrilling or bombastic action-packed sequence, but a slow, reflective episode where characters just talk about how they feel. It's one of the most emotionally poignant and cathartic episodes of ReZero, as we get to truly empathize and understand what Subaru had been through all this time. This is the one singular episode that I would point to for anyone who doesn't understand what the series is about. As Subaru's eccentric father, Kenichi, begins the episode by waking his son up.
His father's completely wackadoo. It's crazy. It's a enemy accurate fighter jets is a gun should always be a threat. Power levels be damned. Oh, I mean, the Earth guns are not that big of a threat to Goku because he got shot when he was a kid.
No, no, that's silly. Like, if there is a guy who can bench press a planet, that gun don't mean shit. I don't care what anyone says. No, that's silly. You're being silly.
Well, especially after on the regular, they get punched by punches that would far outclass the velocity of a bullet, like from an Earth gun. Maybe a space gun. You see a space gun.
Yeah, there was a moment where Super Saiyan Blue Goku got like nearly killed by a space gun, and everyone kind of poo-poos on that one, but I'm like, it's a space gun. I
was alright with him getting shot by a space gun and it actually working and knocking him out.
Yeah.
But I mean, if the Saiyans came down and Earth guns worked, like that saga would have been really, really, really over really quickly.
Yeah.
Like the military, they could send the military after them first, and they would have just been shot.
100%, yeah.
Let's see.
We can see that Subaru's room is littered with anime figures and manga, telling us that he's an otaku.
Wow, what a loser. Oh yeah, he's all these figurines and stuff.
Much like
look at his dad. His dad's just jacked.
Oh my god, he's massive. Who is this man?
Subaru's dad is just jacked, like just like what does he do for a living? like he fights for a living or something.
Watching this series, after having what can be described as a weird breakfast, it becomes clear what the underlying issue is. Subaru is a hikikomori, a shut-in, who doesn't attend school, doesn't have any...
Hikikomori sounds like a ghost or something. Like it sounds like someone, like some haunted, like some spirit. Mm-hmm. Don't go in there, you'll go disturb the hikikomori.
Friends and doesn't do anything. He's given up on life and just stays in his room, waiting for the days to go by. His mentality has gotten to the point where he's convinced himself that his life is utterly worthless. For Subaru, there didn't seem to be much point in him continuing to live his life. He had, for the most part, already given up on it. I'm sure many of us at some point in our lives have felt the same way, that in the grand scheme of things, our lives didn't matter.
Yeah, Subaru was about to abstract. Fortunately got killed instead.
We didn't see ourselves as anything special, and in return, failed to appreciate the things around us. Having a warped and...
There it is. Learn to appreciate the things around us.
Mm-hmm.
Which is definitely something that ReZero does have in its storylines.
Negative perception about yourself is brutal as you slowly, over time, start to belittle and think of yourself as worthless. If you yourself believe that you don't deserve to live, then how can you believe that others want to help you? Subaru wanted his parents to get
That is a moment that that does become, or it's an issue that does become a topic of discussion. Where it's like Subaru believes that his only value to everyone around him is coming back by death at one point, and then he gets over that. Where it's like, you know what, I need to strive for something better. Like I need to be able to offer my friends something more than my death, which is a really good moment in the series.
Yeah. I've said this before, like, you know, back when I was a teenager, I was like, I had suicidal tendencies as a teenager. And one of the things that, you know, I just had to get over was this idea that, like, the world would be better off without me. And like, even as an adult, there was like one night I was so down on myself that I started planning my replacements. Like, and like a show like this that's telling people that you are more valuable than your death. Like, I think that's really fucking important.
I thought
and
that's what I told you, like, man, you gotta finish the show. You gotta catch up on it. It gets really heavy, but it gets really good because the message of ReZero is a very positive one.
Yeah. And like Yu Yu Hakusho was like that too. The first episode of Yu Yu Hakusho where Yusuke's like, "Oh, I'm dead. Well, shit, let's go." And you know,
like, no one care. Like people, like he's like, no one's gonna care, but man, I love Yu Yu Hakusho.
It was so good. Yeah,
it's so good.
The
Kuwabara
coming in, that was
he's supposed to be there for me, Yusuke. He's supposed to be like, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Kuwabara coming in, like this, the sheer pain and in the voice acting there, and especially in the English one, which usually is pretty bad. English voice acting pretty bad usually, but that's pretty good stuff. He did a good job with Kuwabara.
They nailed it. Yeah, he absolutely fucking nailed that performance, and ever since then, I've been pretty good at keeping those thoughts in check. You know,
because it makes you realize that just there are people that do care for you, even if you don't know it, and it will have an effect. And so, ReZero is he spent all like a lot of episodes, multiple arcs, believing that his only worth was his death. Like the only thing I can do is die and come back and try to fix things this time around. But then at one point he gets questioned about it because the clown guy, he mentions it, like, your only value is your death. Is that really it? He gets questioned on it, like, no, it can't be that. It has to be more than that. There has to be more to my value than just my death over and over and over again. I have to be able to, even if it's like not true yet, I have to work and strive so that I can become a better person, so I can provide more value to everyone else than my death. So it is pretty good stuff. Let's see. Megathon just the 5, that's super chat thing, much appreciated. It says, as big of a weeb, I only brought 3 figured pop-up parade of chocolate and vanilla Nicopara and a Riot Caitlyn League of Legends. Interesting. So far I purchased like no figurines. The only figurines I ever purchased was a Hitman figurine, and I don't know where it is. I bought that one because I was like, here's like a test. Let's see if I actually care about the stuff. I don't. Because I love Hitman. Hitman is one of my favorite franchises, and I don't really care about the figurine. I don't know where it went. So I was like, I think you have to work for it. I think I have to get a model that I build and paint, and then I would care about it. If it's just something I just bought, then I'm not going to care about it that much. Insane.
I don't know. Like I'm surrounded by crap only because. Well, Alex likes to be surrounded by crap, and she's really happy. So once in a while, I surround myself with crap, and like what it doesn't like the way. No, I'm just surrounded by crap. I like it, but I don't.
I know some people appreciate it and everything. It's just I don't. Apparently, I tried, but I just don't. I'm gonna have to like build my own and then paint it. Then I think I'll care about it. But if not, if I just buy it and I set it up somewhere, then it's just going to fall out. I'm just going to lose it or something. Let's see. Oh, look, Tribbles Rate says, spot on, Lit Devil. Yeah, and Stu for once. Yeah,
And we mean and Stu for once. I'm right all the time. Fuck you.
And Stu, for once.
For once.
Thank you much for servers await. Awesome.
Angry at him so that he could validate to himself that his life was meaningless, that no one cared about him. But his parents never did that, even though he wanted them to. All his mother and father ever did was try to support their son as best they can. They never blamed Subaru for losing sight of himself and were accepting of the fact that their precious son...
His dad's like... Subaru has the same thing as Amelia, where he's like, why don't you ever criticize me? I just one day I want you to come in and say, get off your ass and go to school or something like that. But you never did. You just let me do this. And the dad's like, you not going to school, I think that's your decision because it's just not that important. Like education's not that important in the grand scheme of things. It's who you want to be. They have a really interesting discussion where you can kind of see where Subaru's coming from and where the dad's coming from. And you kind of see that, there needs to be some pushback, some appreciation there. And then Subaru does the same thing to Amelia because Amelia wants to be criticized and he doesn't. Subaru does the same thing that his parents do and just give you praise, don't really push back in any way. And then Amelia's like, why don't you ever criticize me? Why don't you ever say that I'm nothing but trouble and an idiot? And then he does. He's like, you're how dare you do all this? You're an idiot. You do all. He basically lists all their faults. Then goes, but I love you anyway. But no one's perfect. You have all these faults I acknowledge, but I love you anyway. And then they share a kiss, which turns out to be way bigger of a deal than even Subaru thought, because Subaru leans in for a kiss and says, move out of the way if you don't want this to happen. And so he kisses her. Like, okay, well, it's a nice little kiss. Of course, Amelia would let him kiss her. Mm-hmm. Right? She obviously likes him. And then later on, it turns out that she thought that she was pregnant because of the kiss. I was like, whoa.
Okay, that explains a couple Dojin I've read. Got it. That's what's going on. Okay, cool.
She comes out of the witch trial and goes, well, what about the baby growing inside of me, Subaru? And Subaru's like, wait, what? What happened in this witch trial? And she was like freaking out, like, what did she sleep with another guy? Like, what's going on? But no, it turns out that she mentioned that, we kissed. Of course, I'm pregnant. It turns out that Puck told her this. Like, Puck told her that.
Puck told her?
Yeah, Puck told her. So I guess to prevent her from kissing boys, like just that. Oh yeah, if a boy kisses you, you become pregnant. That's.
Also, what a champ. She was like, oh yeah, okay, he's gonna impregnate me now.
That's why I said it's a way bigger deal than even he thought. So apparently she's good with getting pregnant with Subaru.
That's interesting to know.
Subaru should be writing this down. I mean, so yeah, it was a big one. ReZero is pretty good. I didn't think I'd like it this much. It's pretty good, very deep, very heavy. It writes everything well and organically, and it's not just about the main character being awesome, which is very tiresome for modern day Sky anime, which is the main character is always right and awesome. All the girls just fawn over him for no reason at all. Mm-hmm. All the girls started off almost, if not hating him, then being wary of him. Mm-hmm. And then eventually he wins them over. Like eventually he because of his tenacity and his bravery and everything, he does win them over. Even Ram, who does not really like him that much, but doesn't want him to die and will protect him and values him because Rem values him and everything. So she would even like sacrifice herself for him because of these reasons. But he eventually earns everyone's praise, and to the point where it's like when Rem likes him, when Amelia tries to stand up for him and everything, it feels earned instead of just like he exists, so therefore all the women like him, which is very tiresome. This is kind of why it's tough to get into a lot of modern day isekai, because it's just like I exist, and now all the big boobed elf girls like me for some reason. Which, I understand why people might like that in terms of like especially if you're tired of wokeness, because the wokeness is like a guy never gets any praise, a guy never gets any appreciation, and he can never end up with the love interest cleanly. Like, okay, well, here's the opposite of that. It's not as good. It's kind of like there needs to be some organic character development with these things, organic relationship development. Mm-hmm. Isn't necessarily be like the soy boy thing where I gotta work and suffer and hopefully one day she'll look my way. No, it's kind of like there is some back and forth, some clear growth here. It's not just him sacrificing and suffering for so that one day maybe she'll go on a date with him. It's them having back and forth, them being in conflict, fighting, but also having fun together. And it feels organic as we go along the lines and the storyline of ReZero, which is highly appreciated, especially today. It's like what we used to get. Like Yu Hakusho did this too very, very well, because we get introduced to all these characters and then we figure out like what Yusuke means to all of them. Like his mom, Kuwabara, his girlfriend, Keiko, and we get to see why exactly everyone likes him and respects him so much, because he is like this hothead and a powerhouse, but he's also caring. He also loves his friends, and he has this basically he has this emotional blockage where he's like he puts up this tough front for so long that it takes a lot for him to access these emotions, to the point where they had to make him believe that Kuwabara died so they can unlock them all. When in a very epic moment where he fights Toguro. It's awesome. So to me, Yu Yu Hakusho still remains one of the most masculine anime out there, and not just because it's about fighting, but because it kind of dives into the psychology of a young man growing into a mature man.
Mm-hmm.
It really, really taps into that like a lot. The psychology, the grounded, down to earth psychology of it all, but behind the cool powers and the fights and stuff like that. So to me, Yu Yu Hakusho remains like one of the most on point masculine anime.
Was going through a difficult time in his life. When he was younger, Subaru excelled in sports and academics. He thought that he was the best in everything that he did, so much so that there was an expectation placed on him being the son of the great Kenichi Natsuki, and from that point on, Subaru lived in the shadow of his father. When you have that much pressure placed on yourself to do well, you don't want to disappoint the people who place those expectations. But in the long run, it can lead to a worse mentality and have devastating effects on how you choose to perceive yourself. You're constantly being compared to someone else, and you feel as if you don't have your own self-identity. You begin to do things not because you want to, but because it's expected of you. And if you don't live up to those high expectations, you're seen as a lesser person, causing yourself to doubt your own abilities. You begin to criticize yourself. Why am I not good enough? Why can't I do this? And after a while, it takes a toll on you. You begin to realize that you're not worthy of other people's expectations, and this leads you down a dark path where you believe that you can't do anything, so what's the point in trying? This is the mindset that Subaru had, and I'm sure many of us can relate and empathize with. It's hard to deal with life when you view so little of yourself and have no self-worth. The only thing that can get you out is if you can change the opinion you have of yourself, which seems impossible. In the first season, when Subaru had just been transported into a fantasy world, he relishes the fact that he can now start over. And this isn't because he was excited to explore.
And see, anime Acumen Fighter Threats is season 1 Subaru is the guy with a guitar writing cringe songs in high school about, yes, he is, kind of, yeah, about how he would die for this girl he's simming for him. Which is why, as there is a spectrum, I guess you could say. There's one side and the other side, and where you really want to be in the middle. Like the bad guy is on one side, like the bad boy who's a toxic man, walking red flag. On the other side is the nice guy, soy boy, and people are like, "What? Why don't girls like this guy? He's nice and caring." Like, is he though? Is he?
Yeah.
And what he is though is actually this unrealized version of a good man, where he is nice because it'll get him something. It's nice. He's doing these things because the girl he likes will like him better, instead of just doing the right thing. Like, just I don't care if you like me better or not. I'm just going to do this because it's the right thing to do. That's when you kind of like overcome this need. Basically, what it is that you are acting this way out of a place of weakness and selfishness, because your intention is to manipulate someone into liking you. That's a dangerous mentality to have. That's entitlement. It's the entitlement we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
What needs to happen is you got to do the right thing anyway, regardless of whether they'll like you better or not, just because it is the right thing to do. And then that becomes attractive, oddly enough. It's not because I want to dump all this crap on your feet. I suffered for you. All right. That's not what you're supposed to respond with. But I suffered because it was the right thing to do. And that's it. That's why, and Subaru goes through all this in the beginning, and they call him out on this, and he has to grow from this mentality of like, yeah, I was being selfish. That was a selfish thing for me to do to get hurt and to do crazy things and then dump it at your feet, saying that this is for you, even though you never asked me to. So when Amelia says, "I never actually asked you to do this," it kind of might come off as ungrateful, especially in his eyes after he suffered so much. But first of all, she doesn't really know how he suffered because he won't and can't tell her. And second of all, it's not really ingratitude from Amelia in this position. It's because she likes him and she doesn't want to see him suffer, but he does so anyway. He does so anyway, and he keeps saying it's all for her, and that's like all this suffering is my fault. That's kind of where her mentality is. All this suffering is my fault. Mm-hmm. So can you stop it? At least tell me why you're doing this. Like, why? What's the reason? And of course, then he doesn't tell Amelia that she loves her. He does this later, but without any kind of reason. And you might think that Amelia might realize this and just wants him to say it or whatever, but I don't think she does. Like, I'm not sure if she does realize that Subaru loves her at that point, because she spent her whole life being hated, being ostracized, because she looks so much like the silver-haired witch, mm-hmm. and is a half-breed, half-elf, which people distrust. So maybe like the idea that Subaru might love her and that's why he's doing this doesn't really cross her mind, because it's just so out of her experience. People, like even the Lord of the Manor, is not doing this because he loves her. It's because she has the ability to claim the crown. And Rem and Rom aren't doing this because they love her. It's because they work for the Lord who's invested in her. And the only one who really loves her is Puck. And so that's the only time she can remember. The only experience of love that she has, which is kind of like a parental kind of love. And so she can't really come to terms with the idea that Subaru might love her as a lover or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So she might not know that Subaru loves her, because she spends most of her life, as far as she can remember, being disliked, being hated, being loathed, being ostracized. So it's very interesting. It's just really, you don't really get this kind of depth with modern day isekai anymore. You just don't. Mm-mm. It's really good. It's really good.
Or the world around.
Yeah, he goes from the guy who just writes cringy love songs for the girl he's simming for and lamenting as to why she won't pay attention to him, to just, I'm going to do this thing because it's the right thing to do. And this starts happening in his mentality, because he starts doing things for other people. Like, it's not just himself. It's not just Amelia. He's doing this for, like, I'm going to help out Garfield. I'm going to help out Rem. I'm going to help out Rom. I'm going to help out this person. And he's doing it because it's the right thing to do after a while, but only after he's been called on it several times. And especially, he's grown, especially after the witch trials. So especially after he's encountered his past and got annihilated by the unthinkable presence that he left behind. Mm-hmm. He changed after that, especially after he confronted the Lord, where he finds out the Lord knows about him coming back to life after death, and depending on that, and that finding out what the Lord's scheme was and everything, where he's like, okay, my value is beyond my death. I can produce more value to my friends beyond just dying and coming back, because there are moments in some of the episodes where he kind of just commits suicide so he can come back and fix everything, mm-hmm. and that's pretty rough. I mean, it's like, okay, that makes sense because everything has gone awry. But the idea that he would just go to that as an option more than once is that's pretty rough. That's kind of like, that's not healthy to have as a mentality.
It really isn't. I can tell you that for sure. Like, it's really not a good idea.
So that's why he changed after this, where the unthinkable present trial, because there's one point where he finds out that Rem gets killed or something like that, and he just stabs himself in the throat to die, and he gets confronted with that present first, with Amelia going, "You're a liar." It's like Amelia just hates him in that present, because how dare you commit suicide? Like, how dare you? Like, you broke your promise to me that you would never leave me, that you love me or whatever. Like, why would you kill yourself? And it's awful. It's an unthinkable present.
Yeah.
And so that helps him change the mentality. Like, basically, he has a minor Yu Hakusho moment where he can see the suffering of people left behind after he like commits suicide.
Mm-hmm. And what is horrible, and like I said, one of the reasons why I'm still sticking my one person for this is that there's a point in suicidal tendencies where you start thinking of suicide as it's not even a horrible thing to think about. It's just an option for you.
Yeah.
And I think I've mentioned this before. It's like when I was at some of my worst points, like it was, oh man, I got to go to the grocery store. Unless I drive off of the ravine and land in the quarry, then I don't have to do that.
Then they can skip it.
Yeah. And like that doesn't even sound horrifying. It just sounds like a funny alternative, you know? But if you say that to a mentally healthy person who, you know, wants
like, what? That sounds crazy. I was like, that's insane.
It's like the fuck is wrong with you? And it's like, oh, all right. I didn't realize that was a no-go. Got it.
Yeah. Judge God says, I think 10 cheers is unrelated One Piece topic. The Going Mary's death was such a big deal that up until that time skip, they replay the same outro of her death. After the time skip, there were no more outro songs in One Piece. Interesting.
Who's death?
The Going Mary.
Oh, that's cool.
Him, but because he had already given up on life in the real world. He never wanted to go back there. In this fantasy, he could start over again, not having to worry about what others thought of him. He could go anywhere, do anything, and be the hero of his own idealistic story. But that's not what the series is about. The point of the first season wasn't to explore this new fantasy setting or showcase the suffering that Subaru had went through. It was about presenting Subaru's worst character traits and how he needed a change in order to become a better person. Throughout his journey, Subaru, in the back of his mind,
he makes his face a lot over the course of the story.
always thought of himself as the lowest of society. He was selfish, arrogant, and didn't want to understand the feelings of those around him. This in turn pushed everyone away from him, and by episode 18 of the series, he was left alone, ready to completely give up on life just as he did in the real world. But things were different this time. Just as Subaru lays out everything.
Because everyone knows that scene, right? Where he's like this, how about you just run away together and leave all this behind? He's tired of dying and over and over again because it hurts. Makes sense. And then Rem gives him that speech, and then he goes, "Well, I love Amelia," and then Rem goes, "I know."
It's like, what a piece of shit thing to do, because he already planted the idea, let's run away together, and then she's like, yeah, all right, well, I love you. About that. I think Rem says no, and then she goes, well, I have thought about it, and she has the whole speech, and then he goes like, I love Amelia, and she's like, I know, that's why I said no, essentially. Oh yeah,
which a pretty big, like, that's a pretty heavy scene. It
really is. Like, bro, I do think, like, yeah, ReZero deserves more credit.
It's pretty good. I mean, it handles like these heavy topics really well. It's tough. Like, you're going in the first season thing. Oh, it's gonna be a plucky isekai anime. Ha ha ha. Nope. Nope. Get right. Buckle in, buddy.
I mean, there's some pluckiness, but guess what? It gets worse.
Yeah. Relish, appreciate the pluckiness you have, because it gets heavy. And it's kind of Ketchel says during his first major crash out, she said she just wanted him to her like normal, but he reviewed that was the one thing he couldn't do because he loves her, but he didn't confess that to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't tell her that. Only when he matured enough, like after he's confronted with his flaws and everything, that he confessed to her that he loved her, because that's like, okay, let me go ahead and tell you then. Let me go ahead and tell you that this is the reason why I'm doing it. It's like, I think in his original mindset, it's like, I can't tell you that I come back from death. But that's not the reason. That's not why I'm doing this. Subaru confesses that I'm doing this because I love you, and he has to mature a bit to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But when he gets there, it's out in the open, and Amelia does understand, like, oh, okay.
It's easier to crash out and say that you're doing something for someone rather than being genuine and telling them why.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so easy to say, "Oh, this was for you," and it's like, so what? You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I did it all for you, but I didn't ask you to do this. I didn't want you to do this either.
He hated about himself, Rem showed him just how much he was a hero to her. It didn't matter what Subaru had thought of himself. For Rem, he was her knight in shining armor, a person who saved her. It's through her supportive and loving words that Rem was able to save Subaru from himself. And by the end of the first season, Subaru was able to become someone worthy to stand as equals with those around him, and finally genuinely connect with Emilia. Episode 4 of the second season encapsulates this character journey that Subaru had gone through by making him reflect.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because Rem has brutally killed him several times in past lives. Yeah. When they first met, Rem did end up killing him a couple of times.
On his past actions and realizing how wrong he truly was. In the past, Subaru thought of himself as trash who didn't deserve to live a happy life, and this made him truly believe that no one cared about him. But Subaru failed to see just how supportive his parents were. No matter if he was doing well at school, became a delinquent, or a shut-in, his parents never treated him differently. Through subtle acts and gestures, they tried to help Subaru from the dark pit he was in, although ultimately the only one who could pick himself back up was Subaru himself from the support of others. Through introspection and reflection, Subaru was able to realize his self-destructive mindset and break away from it. During his lowest moments in life, Subaru was unable to appreciate all the support his loving parents gave him. He thought so little of his own self-worth that he tricked himself into believing that no one cared about him, when in reality, that wasn't true. Having this kind of mindset is difficult, and breaking away from it is even harder. You start to believe that the whole world is against you, and so slowly...
That's why he had to go through the witch trials. He didn't go through all three of them, but he went through the first two, and that's kind of how he got here.
Your mind...
He really helped. His mentality really changed after he confronted his past, and after he confronted these unthinkable futures. Where like, whoa, what if these futures or these presents do keep going on? I betrayed my friends because I killed myself. Like I left them to die, or I left them to become sad, or to be miserable, or to hate me.
Considers that giving up entirely may not be so.
I know Kyogre is totally memeing here the Rem over Amelia. Like, yeah, but the point is they're both the best because like they both love him in their own unique ways. They both have their strengths and weaknesses in their unique ways. And the best part is he gets both. like that's why they're the best. It's not
they're both the best.
It's not just Rem, dude. Rem is great, but like Amelia's pretty fucking awesome. Like, because she doesn't have to reciprocate any of his bullshit. Because Rem got the opportunity to see Subaru become great, right? Amelia kind of missed most of it. Like, she got to see some things, but like, yeah, like she didn't get to see everything. The first real big thing she saw is him crashing out in the middle of the fucking, like, making her look like a jackass in front of this council of people, right?
Yeah. Or she didn't really appreciate very much.
Yeah, no, like why would she? Because he knows nothing about their politics. He knows nothing about anything. And here he comes like this big dick guy thinking I'm him.
I am Amelia's knight.
And it's like, bro, who the fuck are you? We got people that can like turn over buildings. You're not even the best track star in your own world.
Yeah, what can you bring to how are you at night? And it gets annihilated by that other guy who's actually pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like you brought nothing to the table. You're just kind of embarrassing Amelia. And what else could she do but get angry at you? But anyway, chat, man, we surpassed this, and I got some pretty good suggestions for what kind of anime we're going to cover. Well, check it out. This weekend, chat. This weekend. So I think Saturday we'll have the Smiling Friends stream, and then Sunday I think we might have the anime stream. We'll go ahead and I'll pick one. We can go over it, check it out, see how it goes. But otherwise, but other than that, chat, we also made the Pillarman. So here we go, chat. Streaming time. Lower your volume or raise your volume, whatever you prefer. And loud clip incoming. All right, loud clip incoming. Pillarman in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ay, 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 ay.
Oh, yes, best chat. Yes, second gods of fitness now. The good gods of fitness have blessed us this wonderful day. I know this girl. She's from Seven Deadly Sins, I think. She's the fetish girl because she's huge. Insane. Loser has to clean the house in a French maid outfit. You're on. Bet you think you're real clever. Oui. Insane. My twin little sister. You two really don't look alike. Is that so? Look closely. Teen Titans was such an emotional show. Is this true, Stu?
Which one?
It says Teen Titans a very emotional show. What do you think?
Yeah, all those are pretty intense emotional moments for sure.
The most legendary shirt I've ever witnessed. Unemployed, but her feet giving me a. I assume this for you, Stu.
I think I'm not really a feet guy, if I'm being real. Oh,
that's pretty cool. Wow, yeah, definitely. If Zula was like a waterbender, she'd definitely bend blood. That would have been pretty epic, actually. Pragmata. What's this? I did not have any sexual relations with that chess piece. President. Oh yeah, because she became president for one adventure.
Mm.
No, you can't expect God to do all the work.
I take it you talked about Digital Circus for a while.
Yeah, a little bit. We can't expect God to do all the work, Pomni. Sapphire Fire and Wang Fire. Oh yeah. The main names of Sokka. Sokka the Water Tribe, Wang Fire. Wang Fire. LD best chat, Korra, Megalithon, who usually likes bad media. Everyone hates Korra. Let's see. Everyone struggling with potions class in their 6th year, Harry Potter and Half-Blood Prince book. Yeah, he's got that magic book that Snape wrote in the notes in. Like, I'm still going to wait to see how they acquired that, because it's like this book is the property of the Half-Blood Prince. Like, why is it in the cupboard? Evil horse Slughorn be like, Merlin's mustache, Tom. To rip the soul in 7 pieces is a brilliant idea. Like, a Slughorn might be like a Slytherin and kind of sleazy, but even he's like, no, I'm not going to side with the Death Eaters. That's just dumb. Severus, please. Sorry, homie. Yeah, the Black Snape is going to be happy to kill Dumbledore. He's all happy. Sorry, homie. You got your mom's eyes, Harry. You got your mom's fat ass, Harry. Black Snape. It's a Pokemon company. Stop! You don't know what you're about to unleash by creating a human female Ditto. No, no, Hank, no. Your first graveyard shift, and this is you now. And everyone is building apartments and theme parks in Pokemon Poketopia. Meanwhile, in my game, I'm like, howdy, y'all. Oh, they play Twister. This is what you meant by having her play Twister.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I legit thought that was the bit, and I'm like, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's correct.
I mean, Rem would win at this point. Rem's got this in the bag. But yeah, somehow she's still alive, and she remains alive long enough to free Subaru and then dies. And that's dedication. Sis is on to nothing. Goodbye, chat. Let's see. When borrowing my mom's phone, brightness, notifications, sound is font size is huge. And see. Hold on. Apps running in the background. Every single app is running in the background. Howdy, partner. I don't know what that is. I don't know why he's like a cowboy Pokemon. Let's see. Snape. Okay. Well, that's an interesting. What's going on here? What is the scene?
Sometimes you're allowed to just say said.
Yeah, just say said, okay? You don't need to use the word ejaculated in this context. Snape ejaculated Slughorn. What? I don't think they had this scene in the movie. I know it's all aspiring novelists. Sometimes you could just use the word said, okay? Snape he nutted. This is way better. Snape he nutted. Snape ejaculated Slughorn. Snape nutted Slughorn. Is I think it's the bad guy from Danganronpa.
Yeah, that's Junko. Okay, so yeah, she's just a funny, silly girl. Okay, so the next one though.
Like, Junko. I was like, I call it Junko.
Junko, yeah, it's pronounced Junko.
Okay, but I remember her from Danganronpa. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is Gyaru style. It's where they try to make their skin look as dark as possible. Because remember, in Japan, the beauty standard is the more pale you are. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, that's what it's gone for. And that particular character that we saw, her name was Galco, and it's funny because in universe, she's actually kind of the sweet, innocent girl, and she just likes. She just likes the fashion, but like they do everything they can to make her accidentally say a bunch of sexual stuff, and it's quite funny.
It's pretty funny. As in, there's Jinx, and there's Nokia counts, right?
I guess. I don't know who she is, but she is cute.
There's oh yeah, it's showtime. And what's this? We're watching the Teen Titans movie and saw the adorable Gyaru. Why don't people talk about her? Oh yeah. I think they go to Tokyo in that one.
Mm-hmm.
When your friends decide to have civil war and you're not invited because Thor's not there. Yeah, Thor wasn't there. That's right. Living in denial. Yeah, stupid hippies. Card games on motorcycles. And there is one of the elemental heroes that he uses, I think. Let's see. I don't remember her making that face though. Not yet. If an actor was able to make a team out of characters they played, who would be the strongest? So the guy that voices Crowler is the same guy that voices like which Goku though? Like which? It was that one guy who called like his son gay or something. Remember that? Or those leaks? Those leaks were like Goku's voice actor was like, "Oh, I hate my son Gohan. He's a gay dude."
Oh no, that was on purpose.
Was that on purpose?
Yeah, that Sean Schemmel before, like there was a time when the Dragon Ball property was basically dead, and so he was just saying whatever. He was calling people like F slurs. I don't want a voice recording of that like without money. He was calling people the F slur because in the Goku voice because it was funny. Like that's all it is.
Let's see. Oh yeah, here it is. I found... Hold on. 1 second here. Let's see. So I'm wondering. So the Crowler was Crowler voiced by Sean Schemmel? Is that true?
Crowler, I don't think so. Maybe.
What are you waiting for, Goku? I thought you wanted a partner to spar with. Don't be shy. This will be good for you.
Hey, look at those faggot ass clothes. Fucking fag. My son's a fag.
You get him, Goku. That's when Goku found out that Gohan voted for Kamala Harris or something. Let's see. All right, here we go. All right. Hold it. Do not look upon this woman. She's not worth your time. She's not worth your time. Sexual desires are temporary. My ancient gear golem is eternal. No, it's not. He got defeated in the first episode, liar. Let's see. I think the funniest thing about Dr. Crowler is that he has a PhD. Yes, pretty.
Boy, that has tickled you something fierce.
PhD in dueling. He brags about it. He brags about his PhD in dueling. He prides himself as being Duel Academy's #1 professor. But he literally plays one of the most unga bunga decks in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Ancient Gears be like, I've encountered problems. I believe the solution is to punch it really, really hard. My PhD shines again, peasants. Look, after playing Elden Ring a few times, I know there are a few things that defeat hitting something really, really hard.
Yeah, sometimes like I have won so many duels because I just top deck just a card that has too much attack power, and they have no answer for that.
Exactly.
Sometimes it just works out.
Let's see. Dr. Villian Crowler, an instructor's duty is not to only to educate, but to also protect his students. Crowler may be a jerk, but he's got bigger balls than you. Can't understand why she was so popular. Yeah, I wonder why. It's a mystery. It's one of those mysteries we'll never know the answer to. Mm-hmm. Chaz before kids, Chaz after kids. Becomes Ginger. Come out, my favorite monster. Sobbing. All of the love you gave me now belongs to him, doesn't it? I won't forgive you, overly attached girlfriend. Sorry, in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. And see. A lot of text. Look, this is for you, Stu. Look, I covered his Stu.
Oh my god, I think that was for me. Because I shit talk Solomon real hard.
Let's see. Silly superpowers in Western comics. Your powers are like to make bubblegum. That's so stupid. Yeah, silly superpowers in manga. Your lungs are now filled with bubblegum. Die, idiot. The bubblegum guy would be pretty awesome, actually. Well, I think the last one there. Bubblegum man. Well, yeah, I guess in the West he'd be black. Let's see.
Oh my god.
I would never be a simp. At your service, my king.
First of all, it's Kinger. That's not simping. That's just being sensible. Okay, that motherfucker killed
the title.
That motherfucker killed God. All right. At that point, you better pay your respects.
Basically, at the end of the last episode, he's like, I think actually he killed God. He says Cain, but essentially Cain was acting as God. He's like, I'm God now. And see. But then I calm myself down. I put out my gun. Yeah. I pull out my gun. Thanks for taking me to New York. I haven't been here since 1999. Wait, where are they?
I think I sent that to you. That meme where it's like, "Hey, Pomni, I used to work in these really tall buildings.
How are they doing?" Can't let God do all the work, Pomni. Let's see.
Yeah.
How do we tell him? Let's see. It's supposed to be the same thing, I think, except they forgot about. Either they forgot or these were not canon, and so they kind of redid them as gods. Like Super Saiyan 4 was supposed to be the gods, essentially. Rurouni Kenshin, Yu Hakusho, two of my favorite anime. The original, of course, the original Yu Hakusho. I mean, the original Rurouni Kenshin.
What's that text say in the post? I think this is someone like actually showing their collection. What's that say?
That's on my haters. And yes, that's the original Rurouni Kenshin. Yeah, the original Rurouni Kenshin is the good one. I tried watching the new one. It didn't really feel as magical.
Did you know he remade the manga too, or he tried? It was really weird.
They remade the manga? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he tried to remake the manga. Like, you remember the guy with the Gatling gun?
Yeah, I remember that guy, Takeda.
They have him holding the Gatling gun and waving it around like it's a toy while he's shooting.
He's like a business nerd. I don't think that's what he would do.
Yeah, it's definitely a little, I wouldn't say out of character, but it definitely comes off as like, what the fuck?
He doesn't have the physicality to do that. That's kind of what the whole thing was. He was not a warrior, but it's like the idea was, I have the most money, so I am the best warrior here.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have the physicality for it, but he could afford like the best weapons. And see, pure reason why Kinger is my favorite character. I'm right behind you, aren't I? Let's see, dear guys, I just cannot go on. Okay, dear guys, I just cannot go on. Okay, I'm tired of being fat. Okay, and I have to end it all. Okay, Eric Cartman.
Have I seen? I don't think I've seen that episode. I don't remember this.
Who? I don't think Cartman wrote this letter. All right. Yeah, 4 is better.
Yeah,
Super Saiyan 4 is better than Super Saiyan God. I'm pretty sure, like overall, like narratively speaking, because Super Saiyan 4 you have to get there by overcoming the bestial power of the Ozaru, and Super Saiyan God is just a bunch of Saiyans that get together and sing Kumbaya, and you get powers. All right, chat. All right, chat. Really in the stream for the day. So thank you much, Stu, for joining me today. And thank you much, Best Chat, for always being Best Chat. Have a wonderful rest of your day. So again, of course, next time.
On a cold winter morning in the time before the light, in flames of death's eternal rain, we ride towards the fight. When the darkness has fallen